us. Good day, good evening, all of you, wherever you are around the world. Thank you again for making time to join us on Mutembei TV for another show where we are discussing the latest on the political front and the latest development in the country. And the good news is so far we have one more city added to our cities in the nation, and that is Nakuru gets her city status from the municipal level. What is your take? What does it entail? Is it enhancing the wellness and the development and the advancement of the nation? Or it is just a city by name and continue with the old way of going about it? Well, the link is right in the comments if you want to join into the studio for this detailed discussion. Let us debate uh, greatly and intensely. I appreciate those of you that are joining. David, welcome to the show. Karl Safi, karibu sana. Nawashukuru nyote mnaojumuika nasi jioni ya leo tunapoangalia mada ya leo. Nakuru imefanyika mji mkuu tena, city status that is, and then there is the undertones and the open political declaration. What is Uhuru Raila political strategy? They were forthright today in addressing what is it they are anticipating and working on. So what cat has left the sack today? All the people have been hoping and praying that Baba anachezwa. Baba anachezwa ama kumeendaje? Naomba maoni yako mahala popote ulipo. Karibu kwa show. Naitwa Bernard na hii ni Mtembei TV. Naomba mkaribishane kila mmoja wenu, tuhakikishe kwamba tunajumuika pamoja. Dorothy, Bryant, say Bernard, your picture is not clear. Yes, one of my lights has gone off, but we'll sort it out. Just hold on. Let's hear from Jacob Frank. How are you, sir?
Hi, good evening.
Good evening to you. How are you?
Niko poa. Nimekaa sana bila kuingia hapa kwa hiyo mchadara. It's around 3 months ama 2 months. Sijai kwa huku, nimekuwa na shughuli mingi.
Nilifikiria uko
Mgomo. I'm happy nimerudi. Kuna vitu nashughulikia na mambo ya siasa niliweka kando kwanza. Juu kuna live ya mtu outside politics. Vile mimi huingia kwa mjadala huwa nasema mimi mtu ODM ndio chama yangu. Raila Odinga is my presidential candidate 2022. Kisii County, Simbarati for governor. So hao ndio watu mimi natembeanga nikiimba. Simbarati for governor, Raila Odinga for president Kenya. Tunataka nitoroke niingie kwa mjadala ingine ambayo iko kwa channel ya Kisii. Nataka niongelee vitu mbili.
Yes.
Leo nimeona chenye kimefanyika huko Nakuru, and I'm happy that Uhuru Kenyatta invite Baba ambaye ni the 50th president of the Republic of Kenya, ambaye ni Raila Odinga. My brothers, unaona ukiona my brothers wakitembea pamoja, unajua naambianga watu, mkioa bibi msikubali mabibi zenu wakuje kuleta division kwa boma. Raila Odinga wameshikana na brother yake mkono, nao wanatembea pamoja. Hiyo ni damu moja inatembea. Na waomba msikubali bibi atokee mahali fulani akuje kuwatenganisha, akuje kuangusha hiyo familia. Huyu bibi atakiwa Kenya mazuri. Huyu bibi ambaye naye anataka kuona vile anaweka kadawa kamote, ile kamote ya Ukambani. Ile kwa Kikisii tunaitanga tunaitaje? Kwa Kikisi kuna hiyo dawa anaekanga na kwa Kamonde, nimesahau jina nayo. Baba asikubali na Uhuru Kenyatta asikubali wawekewe Kamonde ili waachane. Kababa kwa Kikisi inaitwa kababa. Wasikubali, watembee pamoja, kwa maana ukiangalia ile speech ambayo Uhuru Kenyatta alikuwa nayo leo huko, alisema ya kwamba hata kama ulianza politiki zako kitambo, huyu mzee anaweza toka nyuma na akupite. Politics is a mind game, si kutembea ambao ukuja kutubebea wheelbarrow. Umebeba wheelbarrow, umebeba mama mzee kwa wheelbarrow, ndio nakuja kutuambia sasa eti vijana wamekupigia makofi ukisema UDA harambe UDA. Politics is a politics game, ni kama ile chess game. Ukisongesha hivi ili kishongeza ingine, najua nitafika kwa king. So leo Odinga anatumia akili. Huyu mwingine wacha atumie tu vijana, awanunue, wawapatie pesa, watembee vile wanatembea. We don't care. But what we know, 2022 president ni Raila Amolo Odinga. Whether you like it or not, uniangalie vibaya, uniangalie vizuri, uone mimi ni mwenda wazimu, uone mimi naongeanga nikienda, sina shida.
Bernard, hiyo sio siasa ujamaa naongea.
The facts remain. Wacha niongee. Huwa napendanga naongea ndio anza kuongea wakati umepatiwa nafasi yako. So wacha niongee ile siasa yangu naongea.
Okay. Conclude. Just opening remarks, please. It's just opening remarks. No exchanges yet.
Kitu yenye naweza ambia vijana, ile message ambayo Uhuru alikuwa nayo leo huko Nakuru. Unit, peace, tukuche pamoja, sisi ndio vijana, hii nchi ni yetu. Hao wazee watatoka na watatuacha. Hii nchi ni yetu. Tusije tukaanza kupigana sisi wenyewe kwa wenyewe. Kwa maana maybe uangalie mimi ni Mkisi, wewe ni Mkikuyu, ama wewe ni Mkalenjin. I'm not supporting William Ruto. Unione sasa waanza kunipiga. No. We need each other. Lazima Kenya after 2022 election, lazima tupaki hapa Kenya, lazima tupande mahindi, nipande avocado na miwa, nikuletee hapo, nikuja kukuuzia. So tukuche pamoja, tuchenge Kenya after 2022 na beyond 2022. Asante.
Bernard, wani ametoroka?
Sorry, Kosgei, sema unasemaje?
Nashangaa leo unatuletea vitu gani sasa? Dakika mbili mtu ameenda na angeongojea tuulizane maswali. Otherwise, mambo Bernard, pole.
Poa, karibu ndio opening hours.
Mimi nashukuru. Nimeona mjadala si mbaya, nimeona Nakuru pia maoni si mbaya. Alafu ningependa sana kutarajia endorsement ya mwaka huu 2022 kama ina work, juu endorsement nyingi pale nyuma, historia hapo nyuma, endorsement imekuwa ikichezwa. So hii endorsement ya leo mimi naona ni kama wacha tuombe Mungu basi, juu aswa najua mimi napendanga siasa yangu ikuwe ni ile democracy. Sipendangi kulemea upande na upande. Napendanga kubalance siasa yangu mimi. Alesa huyo jamaa mwenye ameenda Mkisi Simba Arati amerudishiwa pesa yake kanisa Catholic. So tunapoendelea na siasa, kuna ujumbe ya kuwa Simba Arati Catholic imemrudishia 1,100. Ampikia kwa governor. Nakuru endorsement ya baba na Raila.
Ngoja kwanza. Simba Arati sio ni tuhuma tu. Imeconfirm wapi?
Ndio hiyo atuelewi mae pia hii tunukiwa nye tumetunikiwa leo ya urais, atuelewi kama ni ukweli, bado ni tu ni mtasamo tu, bado tunaongoja. So my main point is this si mbaya na siasa, kusema kweli venye rais amejaribu kusungumuza si mbaya, naye pia ametoa maoni yake na ushauri yake kulingana na vile Kenya inaenda. Unajua Waswahili wanasema kutangulia sio kufika. Ndio unaona kila mara mimi napendanga siasa yangu ikuwe ni democracy. Sipendangi siasa uchochezi. Kusema kweli kutangulia sio kufika. Bali pia inategemea ni kwa nini umetangulia pia. Sometime kutangulia pia inasaidia juu. Kwenda kwao kuna msichana nilikuwa na target kuona, kuna mwingine anakuja pale nyuma. Itategemea na ile speed yangu. Nikitangulia kwa wakati mzuri ndafaulu. Nikichelewa pia ndanyang'anywa. So kwa mtazamo wangu pale kwa baba na Kenyatta ni that's game of siasa tu. hiyo ni njia moja ya kisiasa na wanajaribu kunoa. Unajua naye pia huyu kijana ambao wanamlinga si rahisi vile, kusema ukweli siasa ya 2022 si rahisi, kati ya hii the endorsement na kujitetea venye tunaelekea kwa saizi. Nimeona pia kama sijui, sina uhakika, nimeona Chapukati amesema wenda ukawa ni tarehe 9, sijui kama ni ukweli, ndio siasa inaanza on the spot. So kwa sahihi, kwa maoni yangu, kwa sahihi mahali siasa imefika, tumeanza siasa sasa. Juzi niliangalia magovernors wa eneo la Mlima Kenya, bwana sijui ni Kimemi ama ilikuwa ni nani, alisema utuambie ni nini ndio unatupea, kumaanisha kuwa imefika ile maktaba ya kupeana ni nini unaleta kwa meza. Ni ishara ya kuwa game imeanza kwa sahihi. Hata venye rais amezungumza, kumaanisha pia siasa pia imefunguliwa uwanja. Ili nisipoteze maoni yangu pia ama nisikaisha wale ambao kwa laini, unapokuja kwa debate usitoroke tafadhali, pake pale. Sisi tunapenda ile mtu anapaki hapo juu, hata sisi tunapenda kuulizana maswali. Tusije unarusha maneno yako una quit, unarusha maneno yako una quit. So tuendelee tukisipiriana, tukisaidiana.
Kabla niwache uende, niulize wewe swali. Hii endorsement mbona ikienda sababu ndio kwa na shikili, lakini imesaidia UDA miaka hii yote tukiambiwa kwamba baba anacheza. Mbona baba akiendorsed unasema hiyo ni game, lakini UD imengoja hiyo endorsement miaka mingi sana, 10 yangu 10
unajua Bernard, DP aliambiwa 10 yangu iko public domain. Baada hapo rais mwenyewe amekuja akaruka nani, akaruka DP. Usisahau pia DP Raila mwenyewe kuna wakati alikuwa ameambia Kalonzo daenda miaka 10, ilikimaliza hiyo 10 ndio kufanya nini, ndio kuwajia. So siasa ni siasa haina uhakikisho wa urafiki. Kalonzo na baba kuna ile differences ya kusema nikimalizia hii ndakupea. So kwa siasa hakuna permanent, hakuna, sijaona huyu akisema ndakupea. In hali tu maybe watu wakuje wenyewe waamua kusema sisi tulikuwa tumeahidi huyu jamaa na maktaba yetu lazima tufanye nini. Ndio unaona kuna wale marafiki wa DP kama kina Didi Nyoro, kina nani baada ana stick kwa ile maktaba. Na usisahau pia kuwa rais ni president tu kwa sahihi ni chief commander, na akimaliza tu term yake pia sidhani kama, kwa ushauri yangu, sidhani kama atakuwa na ile powers. Nakumbuka Moi aliendorse Kenyatta mwenyewe, wakati aliendorse Kenyatta hata kufikisha kura 3,000.
Swali langu ni kwamba mbona Uhuru akiendorse Raila kuna ile kuonekana kana kwamba haifai, lakini muda huu wote claim ya watu wa UDA haswa ambao wamekuwa mstari wa mbele, demand yao ni moja kwamba Uhuru aliwa promise 10 years, so aendelee na hiyo endorsement. Why is it positive if Uhuru endorses Ruto and negative if Uhuru endorses Raila?
Bernard, kwa sahihi mahali sisi tumefikia kisiasa yetu ya Asala Nation, we don't need any endorsement. That is mimi nakwambia ni ukweli na ni uwasi. Sisi kwa sahihi tuko paka kwa depe. Wala ambao tunajua maybe wanahitaji kusaidiwa ni watu kama kina Hoka, juu wako usiku UDA, wako mchana ODM. So kwa sahihi farasi ni mbili na ni peupe wazi. Kuna farasi ambao ni baba mwenyewe na kuna DP. Na napenda kwa sababu gani? Hii ni kama Arsenal na Manchester, na ni lazima watu wawili wacheze ndio ufanye nini, wapatikane. Sisi hatuna ubaya na baba, na in fact mimi sina ubaya yote na baba. In fact mimi nilikwambia Bernard, mimi ni mtu nilipigia ODM on 207 na nilipigia 100%. So sina tatizo yote na baba. In fact mimi naheshimu baba na respect kama mzee ambao ushauri bora.
So Kosgei, nashukuru, lakini umekwepa swali langu, nitakurudi kwako baadaye. Tusikilize Bahati kwanza.
Jambo wasikilizaji jamani. Asante,
Yes.
nashukuru sana. Nimekuwa nikiona hii mjadala kila wakati, lakini mnatia fora kabisa. Jambo ambalo mimi naweza changia ni kwamba mimi sio mwanasiasa, lakini kila ambacho naweza sema ni kwamba usiasa tuseme kwamba ni kama mchezo, kama kabumbu ambayo inayechezwa pale kiwanjani, na pia kwenye mchezo pia mpaka kuwe na mashabiki. Kuna mashabiki ya timu A na timu B. So hapa tukiangalia vizuri, kama vile ambapo tuliona jinsi ilitendeka pale Nakuru, tunaona kwamba Nakuru ni mji ulienda kuzinduliwa ukuwe jiji sasa, na ukazinduka kweli, lakini kulingana na watu wenye siasa sana, wanaangalia sana pale kiundani ya kwamba wanaangalia vile vitu zimetendeka, kama vile Uhuru alikuwa anaongea juu ya kwamba vijana twende taratibu polepole ili mosmos, maana wakati tunaweza kuwa tunakimbia sana na kukawa ule mzee akawa anakuja polepole akakupita, kwa sababu yeye alikuwa tu ameweka ile nguvu zake polepole ndani. So kile ambacho mimi mwenyewe naweza sema ni kwamba siasa za Kenya ziko na zitakuwepo na zitakuwa. Sisi wananchi ambao ni wenye kura tutapiga kura, lakini hatujuangi kule kura zetu zinaenda. Wale ambapo kweli wanapigwa kura, unapigia mtu kura unasema kwamba candidate wangu amepita, lakini kila ambacho tunakuwa nacho ni kwamba moyo wetu unaenda unakuwa na huzuni. Lakini kile ambacho naweza ambia watu wetu wa Kenya ni kwamba mfalme ule ambaye anachaguliwa anatokanga kwa Mungu. Awe Ruto, awe Raila, awe kina Kalonzo Okoa, najua kwamba mfalme anatoka kule mbinguni. So kile ambacho kiko ni kwamba hii nchi tuiachie Mungu. Hata kama tutapiga kura, tutajua kwamba itaenda wapi. Iwe ni endorsement ama ikose kuwa endorsement, wote wanapiga siasa, lakini tunataka Kenya yetu ikuwe safe na jamii zetu wawe safe. Hatutaki vita tena, tunataka kuwa na amani Kenya. Asante.
Okay, asante sana Bahati, nashukuru kwa maoni yako.
Karibu.
Okay, Omar, inua mkono, sema. Unmute kwanza ndio unge. Omar, you unmute then speak. Yes, that's okay now. Go ahead.
Habari zenu?
Salama vipi?
Salama. Kutoka jana nilikuwa na nyinyi, leo tena nimerudi.
Karibu kipindi kipya, mambo mapya.
Sasa kutoka jana na leo nimeona mavitu different. Unajua mimi nikitoka kazi na kaa kwa TV hapa, hata niko kwa TV naona habari hapa. Sasa swali yangu ilikuwa kuhusu kwanza tuanzie jana kuhusu rais alikuwa anazungumza kuhusu hii mambo ya katiba. Kuna watu hapa Kenya tunaweza kusema okay, wa Kenya wana right yao kupinga ama kusupport ile kitu wanataka, lakini tangu rais jana azungumze kuhusu katiba kuna watu walikuwa nadhani hiyo story imeisha. I think jana kuna wale maybe wamepelekwa ICU kwa sababu wakisikia kitu inaitwa katiba, yani ni sumu kwao. Rais akasema vile mimi nilikuwa nafahamu vile anazungumza, akasema atafanya chochote vile anaweza, kwa njia lolote lazima ipite. Na kuna kitu nimeona pia upande ya Nyandarua, I think kwa Kimemia, wakati Kimemia alikuwa Nyeri, I think Kimemia alikuwa function ya Nyeri, Ruto alikuwa Nyandarua kwake. I think Kimemia ni governor wa Nyandarua. Kama sijakosea. Nimeona clip moja, I think kama sinyi mmetoa, kuna mtu ametoa hiyo clip katika ground. Ilikuwa ni usiku, watu wa UDA wanakuja wana kampeni usiku, wana kampeni, wanarusha makaratasi na magari wa vijana wengi. I think kuna baadhi muone hiyo clip usiku hivi, wa vijana wamesurround hiyo gari, wanasema ODM baba baba. Sasa sijui, nashangaa Central inabadilika ama ni nini tena? Ni kama wanakula pesa ya Ruto ama ni nini? Sijaelewa. Na ile pia imenishangaza leo kuhusu Uhuru Kenyatta, amejitokezea waziwazi. Hata kama ni mtoto mdogo utaelewa Uhuru anajaribu, yani anazungumza kuhusu kitu gani. Hata mtoto mdogo I think ataelewa, mtoto wa miaka 10. Yani imeonekana president ni kama anampendekezea, yani after yeye kutoka, ule mtu anamtrust ni huyo mzee, kulingana na ile speech yake vile alikuwa anazungumza. Sasa hiyo inaonekana waziwazi pia ina affect ile supporter ya Ruto Central. Alikuwa anakimbia mbio, kwa sababu unasikia rais anasema msikimbie sana, mtashtukia wazee wamewapita, wanakuja polepole, wanawapita. Yani hiyo ina mean already ameshapatia signal Central wa Kikuyu pale wataenda. Hata kama ni mtoto wa miaka 10 utaelewa nini anasema rais. Hiyo tu nilikuwa nataka kuzungumza, mnaweza kuendelea kwa hiyo comment.
Okay, asante Omari, asante sana. James mzee wangu, vipi?
Mzuri sana. Unanisikia?
Haya. Tunakusikia vizuri tena sana. Karibu Nakuru City Status, Uhuru Raila political strategy.
Asante sana.
Imepeanwa haijapeanwa?
Signo imepeanwa. Na wacha nianze na status ya Nakuru. Ni kwamba hiyo ilikuwa tauni yangu ya ujana nikiwa pale Egerton University. Naifahamu sana Nakuru na nilifurahia ujana yangu pale. Pale ilikuwa inaitwa Getwamba. Nilikuwa naenda hapo weekend na siku nyingine hapo. Hiyo tuachie hapo. Sasa kwa hivyo kupatiwa status ni kitu ya muhimu, kwa sababu ni kuonyesha kwamba tunakuwa, we are getting to another level of age. And I passed through there Nakuru some other day, and I was very impressed by what has been done in that town. It is very clean, with traffic that is flowing very well. Maybe there are jams. Maybe I passed at a time when there are no jams, but I admired the town. Nigeukia hii mambo ingine ya endorsement. Signal imepeanwa, na ni kumaanisha kwamba kuliambiwa kwamba vijana wasirukaruke wakafikiria kwamba yote ile wanaambiwa ni ya ukweli, na unaweza kimbia hii kitu na ni marathon. Leadership is a marathon, it's not a sprint. Kwa hivyo wewe utakimbia, utapumua, alafu mwishowe yule alikuja aste atakupita na kuache pale pale. Na ndio sasa inafanyika kwamba nadhani si kitu ya kushtuka, kwa sababu hata wale wanajua mzuri, wanajua kwamba hata watu wanapata kuzoea, na wakizaa kushoea wanaanza kukuangalia kwa undani zaidi, na wanaanza kuchukua mwelekeo mwingine. People are easily bored when you tell them the same thing for the last 5 years. Unaenda tu unakimbia, unawaambia ile uliwaambia jana, ndio unawaambia leo na kesho kutwa. Kwa hivyo ni kumaanisha kwamba hakuna endorsement ingine tunangojea, hiyo ya leo inatosha. Na jambo lingine ni kwamba alisema wakati ikifika ataongea siasa. Kwa hivyo ni kama kuambia wale wanafikiria kwamba yeye atakimya kama wale wengine hapo mbeleni. Uhuru si Kibaki, Uhuru ataongea. Na wacha nikuambie kitu kimoja ambacho watu wanastuka na wanakuwa na kiwewe sana sana, wale wana support huyu jamaa mwingine pale kwetu Mlimani, ni kwamba Uhuru amepata heshima ya jamii hizi zingine sana, na akisema jambo watamsikiza, so itakuwa rahisi sana kuconsolidate zile jamii zingine. Na watu wanaitwa wa Kikuyu, wa Embu na wa Meru si wajinga. Wakiangalia waone pale nchi inaelekea, hata wao watachukua mkondo huo. Kwa hivyo sana sana si ati rais atakuja hapa kwa mlima you know, he will not come to beseech. It is the circumstances that will make people change, because once the president makes his stand very clear, and the people of Coast, they know that this is a person who has been trusted with leadership. People of Western, people of Nyanza, people of Northeastern, and then they start coalescing around Baba. The people, watu wa mlima wataanza kuona kwamba watakuwa nje ya serikali, na hawa watu hawatakangi vile. So that is the greatest fear that is now existing in our region, and it will come to manifest very very soon. Nikiendelea kidogo ni kusema
usimalize kila kitu, subiri kwanza wewe.
Okay, sawa. Lakini yule ana swali
tuende kwa mwingine. Nafungua tu saa hii. Station imefungiwa.
Okay, sawa. Okay.
Okay, thank you, James. Please, let's restrict ourselves to 2 minutes maximum. Your opening remarks. No refutes for now. No mkosai mpaka tuanze kwa ile sasa sawa. Lakini you are entitled to your views. You are free to. We are in a free country. This democratic space we fought for, we paid the price. We have finally. So you have the liberty to express yourself rightly. Just keep off bad language. No insulting anybody. Just be frank with your forthright with your points. It's the turn for Dennis Oseko. Dennis Oseko, upo? Unakaa vipi? Dennis,
thank you very much.
Go ahead.
Thank you very much. I hope this network will allow me, and I hope the network will be okay.
Go ahead. We can hear you. Go ahead.
Hiyo mambo ya Nakuru, vile imekuwa upgraded to city status, hiyo iko sawa. In fact, hiyo Nakuru ingekuwa upgraded kitambo, na tunahitaji pia tauni zingine, kama tauni nyingine ambayo inastahili kufuata ni Eldoret, pia ikuwe upgraded to city status. Nikishasema hiyo kuhusu mambo ya siasa kwamba the president is supporting Raila Amolo Odinga, that is his democratic right. Na ukiona mwenye nyumba anakuambia hapa ni kubaya, ujue ni kubaya. So there is so much that he may have not, he maybe has not disclosed about his deputy William Ruto, and therefore we should be worried kwamba the president has dismissed his deputy, that he served with for the last 9 years. Jambo la mwisho, ulisema mambo ya ile Simba Arati, because I come from Kisii. I think I should be able to say a word about bishop ama kanisa kumrudishia pesa zile ambazo alikuwa ametoa kanisani. Na ningependa kusema hivi, si vizuri. Kanisani ni kama garage. Ukienda garage, unaenda kama gari imeharibika. Kwa hivyo haifai kuwa ati kuna judge kule kanisani anaamua ni nani mwenye dhambi zaidi ya mwingine. Sisi wote ni wenye dhambi. Ile jambo ambalo bishop na uongozi wa kanisa ungefanya ni kumuombea ama ni kumkosoa kwa upendo Simba Arati in case alikuwa amekosea. Lakini wakianza kurudisha sadaka, basi wanafaa warudishie wengi sadaka yao ile ambao wametoa kanisani. Na tumekuwa na hii kasumba ya ku worship human beings in the name of church leaders, kiasi kwamba tumekuwa na tabia ya kuita kiongozi wa kanisa holy. Hiyo title kama hiyo ni Mungu peke yake anastahili, mimi kama Mkristo. So hiyo ni tabia mbaya. I don't support it. Kanisa ni garage. Sisi wote tumekosea, tuna makosa yetu, sisi ni binadamu. Tusije tukawa binadamu yeyote kule kanisani ambaye ana mark mtihani wa wengine wa safari ya kwenda mbinguni. Nashukuru sana, nipea wengine nafasi.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Dennis. That is clear enough. And Matter Church is something that is close to me since I'm in the church world. I think as at now, the church is under siege, or section of the church is under siege and is being used for political reasons. So I don't think whatever happens there has something to do with the passing of Simba Arati. It could have some underhand games being played that this team brought more than this team brought this, which to me doesn't add up to biblical values and something to brush off. If a leader is a leader, he will lead no matter how many people you buy against him. So it's good, but it's okay. See, the bishops or the Catholic bishops returned the vehicle that DP wherever had donated to the, I think, Archdiocese in Kisumu or something like that some years back. So probably the trend is is keeping up. But all the same, let's keep talking. We have not Joel. Joel, how are you?
Hello.
Yes, Joel, go ahead.
Okay, habari zenu. Hello.
Joel, are you still there? Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, habari zenu.
Nzuri, endelea.
Okay, kwanza hii mambo ya Ruto na Raila, natumai tumejua mwelekeo ni gani kama si watu wa Mount Kenya, kwa sababu tuko nyuma ya Raila, kwa sababu huyu ni mtu aliyekuwa mpinzani lakini amejiunga na serikali, na ukiona wale wote wanatembea na naibu rais sasa, wani kuambia wote wanaenda kumtoroka hivi karibuni, kwa sababu wote wakati huu bado siasa bile, kwa sababu wakati huu ni wakati wa kutayarisha watu, ni kuchukua, wanachukua chenye kitawasaidia wakati wa kampeni. Na kwa naibu rais watu wamepata kuna pesa, so wakati huu ndio tunachukua pesa na baadaye zote tuko kwa baba ambaye ameonyesha ya kwamba Mount Kenya ni yeye atakuwa, kwa hakuna wengine. Na wale wanasema Uhuru hana uwezo wa kugeuza kura, hebu niwaambie hiyo ni uongo. Uhuru ndiye kingpin wa Central, that is Mount Kenya, na hakuna vile atasema tukatae kufuata, kwa sababu ni baba yetu hapa. Kwa hivyo siasa ya sahi kama vile tuseme tanga vile wanaamua hakuna vile wanaenda kufanya, kwa sababu ni kitu rahisi tu, kwa sababu Uhuru hata kiendozi baba si mtu akuendoziwa, ni mtu akona watu wake. Kwa hivyo sioni kama kuna uhusiano kama vile Uhuru Kenyatta aliendoziwa na Moi, vile lienda. Uhuru wakati ule kuwa anajulikana, ni mtoto tu, alikuwa ametolewa kwa nyumba akaambiwa kuja uwe rais. Baba akona wafuasi wake, na Uhuru akisema, Uhuru akona wale watu wamefuata. Tuseme Uhuru akona hata tuseme milioni 2 tu, baba wale wengine wake wote wako naye, hata wale unasikia Oka hakuna kitiko pale, au wote hata hatuwezi tuseme ni kingmaker, hakuna hiyo, hatuwezi tuseme ni kingmaker kwa sababu ni watu baba atatoa kura kwa hao, kwa watu wao, wapende wasipende, kwa sababu baba akona ile akona ile mwito. Tukiangalia ni historia yenyewe inatuonyesha huyu mtu bila amefanya. Lakini ingine mambo ya pesa, umeiba, umeanza kutembea na pesa wa kanisa nini, hiyo ni mambo ingine. Kwa mfano Rift Valley kuna kanisa huko, natumai kanisa yamejaa kule, lakini haendi huku. Mount Kenya ndiye analeta pesa, lakini 2022 ndiye atajua ya kwamba Mkikuyu hauweza ukamnunua, lakini unaweza fanya nini, mkondisha kwa muda tu, na atatoka ataenda. Kwa hivyo sitaendelea sana, nipatie wengine nafasi kidogo.
Okay, asante Joel. Nashukuru kwa maoni yako, sitaki kuyafuatilia sana. I mean, tutayarudia. Asante. Some politician before we go to WG.
Hello.
Then
Mimi niko.
Penny my assistant. Yes,
Okay.
politics. Sema maneno.
Okay, mimi kitu nasema, sometimes people think power is given. And when you think that power is given, you are a wrong person. Power is taken, is not given. And any person who feels that power will be given, you will be given power like a kid, that you need endorsement for you to pass, then you are a very wrong person in the world of power. Power is always taken, and only men who want to take power are the only people who take it. So sometimes for those people who would think that power will just become because of you have been endorsement, those are the people when you watastuka, like they were time for Moi. When Moi endorsed the so-called Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, Kenyans said no. Sisi huwezi tupanga, sisi tunajua hadhira ya kujipanga. Huwezi tutuambia huyu ni mwizi, sisi tunajua mwizi ni nani na mwizi si nani. So some Kenyans, sometimes when I see them trying to say that huyu ni mwizi, huyu si mwizi, sometimes I wonder which kind of Kenya we live. We know those people who are thieves. We know those people who have taken money from this country and they have hidden money somewhere. So don't try to call somebody a thief when you are not looking into your eye and actually asking yourself, am I also a thief? Also, I want to speak to the people of Nyanza, where I come from. Let us not be cheated. We can be cheated now and again. We can be told power will come to Nyanza. Power will only come to Nyanza when we become men, when we know how to take power, when we know how to look for power, but not when we sit down and think that we are going to be given power. Power is always taken, and always the people who are the best, those are the people who get power. This one can be seen from sometimes we have been saying, sisi tumekuwa tukichukua kura, lakini unapata hatuna that power. So when you want to be in power, you must take it. You must seize it.
So what politician, what are you advocating? Take power by what?
You take power by actually going to the Kenyans, asking their thoughts, and once you ask their thoughts, you must be able to take care of your thoughts. Because if you take care of your thoughts, if you are a person mwenye uko na macho, thoughts haiwezi ibiwa hata moja. How can thoughts be taken from you when you know how to look for your thoughts, when you are able to become very clear? So power is always given from the Kenyans, not from anybody. And we have come of age where we look at the president, where we look at our needs as Kenyans. We have come to a stage where we should not be talking about at we have something which we call sijui nini, at yenye inapeana power, at we have that. And Kenyatta is very smart. Sometimes we can tell you,
politician, your internet is failing, number one. Number two, you are
with you.
You are saying we should take power, but you are not meaning. Hold on. The constitutional way of transferring power in Kenya is you win an election. There is no seizing of power. There is no taking power by force. So what are you advocating for?
Kenya, power does not come because you have been endorsed. Because if Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta could have been endorsed by Moi,
okay, too bad the network has failed you. We'll get back to you later.
And we are saying,
I want us to go to. Hold on, your network is not proper. You're on and off. You're on and off. So get out and get back. Make sure you have reconnected properly. Then you'll continue with your submission. That is politics and politician. James, umeinua mkono, kuna nini? Tafadhali naomba tuende tusonge mbele.
Nauliza huyo alikuwa anaongea. Why is he self-contradicting that power is seized? Yet at the same time, he's saying the people of Western will not get power. And yet, just the other day, I think 1 day ago, we were told by Kimani Ngujiri from Bahati, the MP there, that they stole elections. So meaning the systems do accord somebody power, whether that power is won fairly or unfairly. Then he talks about how does he want the public to go and seize power. Once they vote, they vote. The other systems that assist the person to get power is what Raila Amolo Odinga has right now. Na wacha Matiang'i afanye kazi yake. Hiyo tu.
James, tuache Matiang'i afanye kazi yake, Kibicho afanye kazi yake, Kome afanye kazi yake. Mtu asinterfere na independent institution. That is where we stand. Let's go to WG.
Good evening, everyone.
Thank you.
Power is taken, power is that, power is this. Those are rhetorics. They don't make any sense. And wamechanganyikiwa watu wa UDA. They can't have constructive argument. I want to begin by commenting regarding the Nakuru city status. I think I've been of the opinion throughout that both Nakuru and Kisumu, these were towns whose time had not come. They are just, Kenyans are aspiring, maybe they are longing for the word, those big words, city, but they don't meet the threshold, according to me. The challenges that I see in Kisumu, and now Nakuru is added, you actually ask yourself, what is the benefit of that? Is there anything special that comes alongside being a city status? Take, for example, Eldoret. What is it lacking? What does Kisumu have that Eldoret does not have? Those are kind of questions we should ask ourselves. Because the kind of nonsense that goes around with the city status is just hype. More or less like the other day you saw big names being called Ruringu International Stadium, Kisumu International Stadium, and you see the kibanda that is there, and you wonder why are these people misusing these words? Now look at, for example, Nakuru. Between Nakuru and Nairobi, you know, what is the distance? It's very near each other, the radius, I mean. And then you hear someone says that place also requires an international airport. What is that for? I mean, what value does it add? You know, then you come to Kisumu here. It is just the name. They've not equipped it with the facilities that is required for it to be a fully fledged city. So for them to have moved to Nakuru, I think maybe they should have, consolidated the few cities they have up after Nairobi, that is Mombasa and Kisumu, so that they bring it to the standard that a city requires. Otherwise, it is just, the name and the mbio, Kenyan style. People will just run around, but there's nothing that translates to a tangible, benefit to common mwananchi in terms of those names that we give them. That is my opinion, though, regarding the city. The other thing is the Raila Uhuru, and endorsement and whatnot. I don't see anything new that would excite anyone by the president mentioning what he mentioned today. Who doesn't know? I mean, who doesn't know that he has been backing Baba behind the scenes? This is not the only day he mentioned it. He mentioned it in Kibera the other day. He's been, mentioning it all along. And you see his supporters and his subordinates in the government trooping towards Raila. So it's not something that is so new to us. However, he is becoming more bolder and bolder as time goes by, and as the clock tickles towards his retirement. And this one, the way, like today, what he mentioned has a lot of impact, especially in Central. Those who are still thinking that maybe the president could have a different opinion, because there were others who are adapting the let's wait and see kind of attitude. They are seeing clearly that actually the president is is made up his mind. And this one did not, that's the reason why I'm saying it did not just arrive today. This is something that has been there, and that is what Oka guys had realized and made them so bitter, and made some of their allies start, throwing out venoms towards one Raila Amolo Odinga, because they had seen the president's, opinion and stand. So that is my analysis of what things are. Coming to UDA, today they were in Machakos, and William Ruto had nothing new to give. I only heard him talking about that his opponents wants to introduce they want to change the constitution. He is still sticking there. They want to change the constitution. So he's asking the people, is it the constitution they want changed first or the economy? And you know, it's very wrong for people, even if William Ruto was to win this election, but if he is to win it based on lies and false pretense, then I think he's not the kind of a person who befits the status of a leader. He because tell people what is real, that is tangible, because Kenyans are not stupid. Guys, analyze what you tell them. So when you come again and ask people whether someone is trying to change the constitution, yet everyone else knows that the BBI had been taken to the shelves. You see, why do you dwell in that kind of a? This is just an example of a person who lacks. Yes, I'm finishing, Bernard.
Conclude, please. Conclude, please, please.
Okay, I will leave it as such. Continue. Thank you.
Okay, let's hear from Penny, and then Penny, you will help from there. You will make a submission, then bring in Dennis Okello, and bring in Ruben first, and then Dennis, in that order. By that time, I'll have come back.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. I think before I make my submission, I think there's I would like to make some comments regarding what politics and politicians said on touching on the endorsements. And I think politics was not being very genuine. When he talks of only one endorsement that did not materialize into presidency, he only refers to the Uhuru's endorsement in 2002 by Moi. But he does not talk about the endorsement of Kibaki by Raila. You know, when you talk about endorsements, you have to be ready to make a comparison between the Uhuru endorsement and the Kibaki endorsement, and then come up with a very objective conclusion. Otherwise, when you decide to cherry pick facts, a little here, a little there, you know, people are very wise and they know what has happened, and they can be able to see how you are employing tools of propaganda, which is not the reason why we are here. We are here to be objective. We are here to bring in all the facts and to make sober conclusions concerning the political issues that are touching on our nation at a critical time like this. So about Nakuru city status, I think I really have a lot of good memories about Nakuru. Myself and my sister, we were born in Nakuru. That's where we started our schooling. So for me, I have no problem with the city being with the town being elevated to a city status, because in comparison to Nairobi, you'll agree with me that when you're driving to Nakuru, you'll always notice that it's clean. You know, it's a bit cooler than Nairobi. So I know we have a long way to go, but probably the elevation of the town to a city status at a time like this has maybe nothing much to do with the city itself, but I think it has a lot to do with, it's one of the strategies that are being employed by His Excellency, the President and Raila, concerning what is facing us. Yeah, so I think there is more meaning to it. I mean, why did the city have to be elevated to Why did the town have to be elevated into a city status at a time like this? There must be some significance, you know. Nothing just happens in politics. Everything has been well planned for. So for me, I think that is a political strategy.
Penny, what would be the benefit?
It would be an opportunity for these people to lay ground for the systematic strategy that they have laid down for the events that are supposed to follow, you know.
Sorry,
It is a strategy. So for me,
pardon me, but how would that whatever the benefits would have come even if it was in a with a town status, or it has to revert to it has to go to a city before those benefits come in?
okay, one thing that you have to appreciate is that the pomp and the color that comes with the city cannot be compared to a town, you know. There's some pomp and there's some, you know, there's something special about a city. There's the pomp that comes with it. Yeah, so when a place is elevated to a city status, there's some pomp and some color that comes with the whole thing. So for me, I think it was a political strategy, because when you look at the time when the president and the deputy president were forming a coalition, Nakuru remains a strategic city for them. You know, that is where they went to do most of their political activities. So for them to have chosen this time to be the time to elevate the town into a city status, and for Raila to be there with him together, I think they hold this town so dearly because it has a lot of the people from Rift Valley, and it also has it's actually a cosmopolitan town. You know, it has a lot of the people from Rift Valley. It also has a lot of people from Central, you know, and Luos, and a mixture of people. So for me, I think that is one of the strategies for the time we are in. So about the Raila political strategy, what I have to say is that the political structure, as in, we are reaching climax in our politics, and things are beginning to unfold. And for those who are doubting the fact that Uhuru was supporting Raila, I think it's now quite evident. It's now clear on the wall that the president has made up his mind that he is behind Raila. And one thing that will come out so clearly is the fact that Central will begin being a slippery ground. Because you can remember initially we have some people who are still in UDA who are citing the fact that they are just waiting for the phone call from the president, and then they'll be able to leave everything and go to the president. So I think we are coming to such a time as this when we are going to experience massive defections, and we are also going to see a lot of progress in terms of in terms of campaigns, you know. And I know the president is going to come out openly without any fear of contradiction, and is going to tell people why he has supported Raila. And I think he's also going to continue lobbying for him, you know, without caring what people are going to say. So for me, I think there's a tsunami coming. We are yet to experience a tsunami, a political tsunami, and a lot is going to unfold in the next few months. So I think maybe I'll leave my submission in as far as the political strategy is concerned. About the UDA campaigns, I think UDA have been campaigning for the last 4 years. In fact, the DP himself has been campaigning right from the word go in 2013. You know, he always had this political ambition of being the president, and I think he has carried it on. But one thing that he did not put into consideration is the 48 laws of power. You know, you're not supposed to frequent. You're supposed to appear rare, a rare jewel, so that you can be valued by your people, which is contrary to what he has done. You know, the DP cannot finish like a whole month without going to Mount Kenya. And one thing that is sure is that people are soon going to be fatigued about his visits and the campaigns, because the message is normally the same. He's always saying the same things in the same manner. And I think now with time, people are going to begin being fatigued, and because he has nothing new to offer. And just like the president put it, that, politics is marathon. So he has been campaigning, and to some extent, you would say that you could actually see very clearly that there's a lot of fatigue, when you've been doing something the same way without any excitement, then people are bound to get fatigued. And for the Raila team, they've always managed to keep people speculating. He has not even declared his candidature. So for me, that is a very good political strategy of not unveiling all your cards. You have to hide some jokers under the table so that you unleash them at the correct time. So for me, I think they are in the correct track, and let's wait for things to continue unfolding as days go by. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Penny. Let Ruben take this floor. Ruben. Oh, Ruben is buffering. Bwana Ruben, unmute and talk now.
I think he's having challenges with the network.
Yeah, he will come around. Dennis Okello, go ahead. Dennis, we can't hear you. Okay. Dennis, what is it? Okay, it's like money has been poured. Your voice cannot be heard here. Ochieng Owor, how are you? Ochieng Owor, are you able to hear me? What's cooking?
It's
Ruben?
like the...
Yes, Mr. Bernard. I think I am experiencing some technical problems here. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, we can now hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. Ninashukuru kwa kupewa nafasi hii jioni ya leo kuchangia kwa mjadala wa siku ya leo ambao tuna Nakuru city status, Uhuru Raila political strategy and UDA campaigns. According to me, ningependa kuchangia on three issues. Moja ya Nakuru having been elevated to a city status. Nimesikiza maoni ya ndugu zangu. Hello.
Tunakusikiza vizuri sana Ruben, endelea.
Okay, nimesikiza maoni ya ndugu zangu na dada yangu hapa jioni ya leo about elevation ya Nakuru to a city status, na ni kitu kizuri hicho, but according to me nafikiri it was just politics na mambo zingine ambazo sioni zikiwa na maana sana. Hiyo ni kulingana na mimi, kwa sababu proximity ya Nakuru na Nairobi, Nakuru na Nairobi distance ni fupi, na mambo zingine zile ambazo unaweza hitaji in Nairobi, ukiwa Nakuru you can get them easily ukiwa Nakuru you can get them easily in Nairobi. But there are some good things that comes with any town or municipality being elevated to a city status. One, in their infrastructure itakuwa sawa zaidi, kwa sababu kama barabara zile zilikuwa zinatengenezwa through kera, sasa unaweza pata barabara hizo sasa zitakuwa elevated, zichukuliwe na kitu kama kura hii mambo ya urban whatever ama highways, mambo kama hizo. For a city, I believe every city, every municipality ndio ikuwe elevated to a city, lazima ikuwe na vitu kama airports, lazima ikuwe na some quality za barabara na infrastructure zile ambazo serikali wanafaa watengeneze, lazima zikuwe na mambo ya maji, accessibility ya maji na mambo kama hiyo yote, na mambo ya town and city planning inachukuliwa tena na serikali in a more serious way. Kwa hivyo Nakuru kuwa elevated to a city status, kuna benefits zile itapata nyingi na attention nyingi kuliko vile wangekaa kama municipality. So politically Nakuru you benefits, na hata kwa maendeleo pia ita benefit. Presence ya Raila in Nakuru na mkutano pamoja.
Can I ask you a question, Ruben, before you continue? Yeah, I wanted to ask, like, whatever you've mentioned is quite good, but I want to know if someone may help me know or understand some of those facilities that you say, if Nakuru is elevated to city status, then it will acquire those status. I thought before it's given that charter into a city, it requires that somebody had gone and analyzed, and then it should have achieved, or the development should have targeted it to achieve that standard in order for it to be called a city. Not that it is getting a city in order to achieve that. For example, right now, when we ask, where is the airport? Should the airport be there prior to it getting the city status, or it should get the city status, then the airport comes in? So these are some of the things why I was saying it does not make a lot of sense.
Can I answer?
How it comes? Yeah, please.
Can I answer?
Okay, Ruben, I can ask you that question. Please let me try to answer your question. Number one, town municipality ikielevetiwa ikue ipandishwe cheo to a city status, attention ya serikali ina shift such that sasa sio only Kinyanjui the governor is excellency, the governor atakuwa anafanyia hiyo city kazi peke yake. Even the attention of the national government itaenda huko, kwa sababu vitu kama barabara zile zinatengenezwa za kawaida, kuna kura, kuna kera na hizo bodi zingine ambazo utengeneza barabara. Kuna zile zina concentrate na mambo ya urban, kuna zile za highways and all that. So kwa mambo ya development kichorwa, they must first give priority to cities first kabla wakuja kwa towns na other municipalities, kulingana na mimi. But for a town, for a municipality to be elevated to a city status, inafaa ikuwe na vitu zingine kama airport inafaa ikuwe. In fact, airport was supposed to have been in Nakuru longer first before it is elevated to a city status. That's according to me. But politically, Nakuru stands to benefit because the attention of the national government itaenda huko. That's according to me. Lakini nilikuwa ninaeleza why was Raila Odinga in that place. Raila Odinga kulingana na mimi alikuwa hapo na akiwa amevaa kofia mbili. He was there first as a politician akiwa anajitafutia kura, na kuna mboga points kidogo kidogo alipata kutoka kwa the sitting president. Number 2, alikuwa pale kama mkubwa wa infrastructure in Africa. Barabara nyingi zile ambazo zinapitia Nakuru kama hiyo major highway, hiyo class A road ile inatoka Nairobi inapita mpaka inaenda Uganda. Hiyo barabara inaanguka kwa laini ya an international highway, na hiyo lazima Raila Odinga angekuwa hapo. Mambo ya reli nini story kama hizo zote za infrastructure, mndozi wa hiyo anakuwa ni Raila Odinga. So his presence was ya Raila hapo ilikuwa both kama politician na kama mndozi wa mambo ya barabara o infrastructure, sorry. So hiyo ndio maoni kulingana na mimi, lakini in general hakuna kitu kubwa itachange kwa maisha ya watu. In fact it might even inaweza pandisha mambo ya mabei za vitu nyingi zitapanda huko, kwa sababu sasa mtu yule atasikia have a plot or a piece of land in Nakuru, sasa atafikiria it is in a city. Sasa kuna hiyo perception, according to me, atakuwa nayo mambo fulani kulingana na wao, there are some things that they will benefit, lakini si kitu ya maana sana hiyo tu. Ile Kenyans wanapenda tu kusikia we have 4 cities nini and all of that, but according to me we are supposed to have 2 cities, just Mombasa and Nairobi, enough. Thank you.
Can you get me now?
Yeah, Dennis Okello.
Yes, you can get me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
Okay, thank you very much for giving me the platform. So, number 1, Nakuru's elevation into a city status. This is an idea whose time had even passed. Because one factor that makes a cosmopolitan be elevated from a cosmopolitan to a metropolis, the only key thing is population. Yeah? And with population, there were cities before, like Rome in the ancient times. These cities never had airports. But again, you'll find that the next place which should have a city is Ruiru Metropolis. I myself, being a resident of Ruiru constituency, there's a number of people, and when in fact the number of people that should lead to the conferment of a town from a town status into a city status should be around 300,000 residents and above. So any place with 300,000 residents and above should be conferred a city status. Now these are the merits of making Nakuru a city. Number 1, the land rates are going to be, they're no longer going to operate locally, but again, this land rate is going to be charged according to a metropolitan status. Number 2, the urban and infrastructural development is going to be elevated from a cosmopolis into a metropolitan. Number 3, the pride that comes with the city. You see, when a place is called a city, it does not only attract the locals. A metropolis is a place that attracts the non-locals. For instance, the ethnic compositions of the Nakuru area will no longer be even one tribe that will be predominant. It's going to be attract people and even other nationalities, which Nakuru has done already, because the Southern Sudanese population is the second highest in Nakuru after Nairobi. So Nakuru already had that precedence of being a city. Let us talk matters politics. Raila being in Nakuru and Ruto being predominantly missing. So there is this thing that Jesus was asked by the taxpayers, not taxpayers, but by the Pharisees and Sadducees. They asked him, Christ, who should we pay? You say that you're the king of Jews. Who should we pay taxes to? Christ, in his noble answer, he read their minds and told them, render unto Caesar what belongs to Caesar. Now that Christ came and Christ had the divine power, divine meaning overall, he also had to recognize the leader who was still there at that time. That was Augustus. Emperor Augustus Caesar. So, when Ruto misses such occasions, yet he is number 2. He's not even like having divine powers of Jesus. Jesus had divine powers over Caesar. Now Ruto misses. He comes even as number 2 of Uhuru. You see, it is not a good show. And this is where he is missing the point. Where, as he's missing that point, power hates vacuum, my friend. Somebody said that these things about power theories. But from theories is where we construct even major structures. Power hates vacuum and it has to be filled. At this time, Raila is doing that very, very smartly. He has to be there, such that when this guy is not there, he capitalizes. And then, who loses and who wins? Politics is about who gets what, when, and how. Be at the right time, at the right place, say the right thing at the right place. That is what Raila is doing right now. Thank you.
Okay, Themba, how are you? Themba, you have come. How are you? Themba is stuck. Ochieng
like
or
it's hanging.
okay, let's hear from Bonnie first before we take another round.
Bernard, you're talking.
Bonnie, would you unmute first? Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You simply do it once. Sawa now. Oh, me mute. Pole daddy. You are still mute, sir. Hey, Oga. Cool, Joe Cool. Go take it.
Good evening.
Good evening to you. Karibu sana.
Evening to you.
Asante sana. Let us talk matters politics a little bit, then we proceed to the Nakuru status, the city status.
Yes.
Yes. I will start with Raila Odinga and his big strategy, and of course we also looking forward to the big day that is coming ahead. Today's presence of Raila Odinga in Nakuru shows that I think it's something that was planned. It was planned, and the president knew exactly what to say in Nakuru, and in the presence of Raila Odinga, in the presence of the people of Nakuru, in the presence of the people, of course, Rift Valley. We're talking about Rift Valley. We're talking about the communities that live in Nakuru. And when you look at the body language of the president, and of course, in the presence of Raila Odinga, that was, to me, I think that was just an endorsement. The president is now going out there to tell people that here, look here, this is my candidate. And you know what? We are not going to gamble with the presidency. We are going to go for the right person. And I'm sure the only person who can actually continue with my legacy is Raila Odinga. And when you hear Raila Odinga talk as well, and of late, when you look at Raila Odinga is more presidential than before. We're talking of Raila Odinga, who is now, I would say, is not the aggressive Raila Odinga that was there before, that we used to know, that we have known before. Of course, we are seeing somebody who has actually gotten into the system. He understands. He knows what to say at what time. He knows what to do and where to be at the right time. And I'll give him credit for that. With the president, Uhuru Kenyatta has decided that that is his candidate. Our brothers on the other side, let me just be honest. They should prepare to be actually to play the role Raila Odinga has played for many years. About Nakuru, the timing is good. It should have been probably 5 or 10 years ago. Of course, when Kisumu was getting the city status, it shouldn't have taken long for Nakuru to get the status too, because looking at Nakuru and also looking at the proximity, of course, I had someone say we only need 2 cities. No, we need Nakuru to be given city status. Of course, that is one thing that we have been waiting for. Let me let somebody else take up from there because I'm handling something else, but I'll be back in a short while. Thank you. Good evening.
Okay, thank you, Jokul. We appreciate your input and contribution.
I'm back. I'm back, Bernard.
Yeah, I am back. What is I am back? I mean
that I'm now back. Yeah, yes. Okay, my microphone was having a problem, but I tried to thumb it, but it was not opening. I'm sorry for that.
Toa mchango wako basi tuendelee.
Okay, mchango wangu ambao naweza toa ni kwamba vile nimeangalia siasa ya Kenya, kama vile mimi ni mwananchi na pia mzalendo katika taifa letu la Kenya, ni kwamba kuna watu baina, tuseme wenye siasa, wale ambapo wanakuwa kwenye siasa wanaangalia mambo, wanakuwa kama wale wanyama wanaangalianga simba atatokea wapi. So kuna wale ambao wanangojea kwamba rais wetu ataongea wapi, ni wapi hii president itaenda, rais atachukua ni nani. So ndio unaonanga sana sana the last minute watu wanakimbia sana kuelekea upande ule ambapo urais unaelekea, ndio at least wakuwe favored. So kile kitu wamekuwa kingojea sana, na nasema kwamba kuna masiku inakuja hapa, tukiingia January hapa kuja tu, utaona vile watu watatoroka wakijua kwamba ni Raila pengine anaenda kukuwa president, they will run there. Wakijua ni Ruto watakimbia pale. Kile pia ambao nimezingatia sana ni kwamba Ruto angekimbia polepole, angeenda zaidi kuliko rais. Angekuwa mpole vile alikuwa mpole, walikuwa wanavaa tai pamoja, wanatangaza vile Kenya inaendelea. Lakini sasa hapo katikati kukakuwa na mbio za kwamba wanashinda, ni kama mashindano. So unaona kwamba Ruto anapiga kifua akifanya kila anafanya. So unapata kwamba rais mwenyewe hawezi kubali sasa kufanya kazi na watu ambao pia wanataka kujifanya kwamba ati wako mbele yake. So hicho huwezi kuwa unatangulia mfalme kwamba unataka kusema kile mfalme anataka kufanya. So ndio maana unaona kwamba Raila yeye mwenyewe amekuwa kwenye timing ya kwamba katika hiyo hali ameleta amani kwa sababu ya ile handshake. Na hii amani imempatia Uhuru usingizi, analala. Nakumbuka wakati kulikuwa na tear gas na maji, unajua kwamba watu walikuwa wanaoshwa sana pale, watu walikuwa wanakimbia, hakuna amani hata kidogo. Hata wale wanaweka biashara kulikuwa na shida. Lakini sasa hivi unaona kwamba inampatia Uhuru kulala na watu wanafanya biashara, na pia tunaona kwamba uchumi wa Kenya unainuka. Kwa hivyo kama kuna mwingine achangie kidogo.
Okay, asante Boni, nakushukuru kwa maoni yako, asante sana. Ochieng Owori kwa mara ya mwisho. Yes, coming. Try without your camera. Kama net yako iko chini.
Ni
Hey,
kama amehang
daktari
tayari.
wangu amehang tayari, pole. Bwana Themba, unatoroka? Themba pia kajificha. Sawa sawa, turudi kwa WG. I had the issue with you. You are saying that city status should be done what before it becomes what? Cities are built. Cities are not conferred. So, Reverend.
So Bernard,
Yes.
not that I was opposing, but kulikuwa na kitu kinatatanisha. Let's say like, but Ruben, I think Ruben got it quite well.
Yes.
Let's say something like the airport. Should there be some thresholds of development to be acquired before that that charter is conferred on a town to become a city? Because even in Kisumu today, you just see the town is facing some challenges that a real city would not be facing, which means it brings us to the question: did it meet the threshold of becoming a city status? So some of these things that we are saying will happen, should it happen first before it achieves, or it achieves it first, then it gets those development? That was my question. It was my challenge.
The only primary consideration is what I think Okello gave: population. Okay, when the population, like Nairobi was built, the original Nairobi was built for 400,000 people, although it's now housing 6 million, so and above. And so when the population rises to over 300, it's supposed to acquire city status. And then when that status is conferred, everything economically shoots up. So the demand for the development of the city springs up. The infrastructure, the sewer system, the housing, and all those things will come up. But you can't build a city in the bush, then put all those infrastructure together, then people there, then tell them now you are a city. It is the people in the city that build the city, or lay a demand on the surrounding to be built by that very population. That's my understanding from both layman and little Lord that I know.
Yeah,
The
and
same
then
in Kenya. In Kenya, you know, we do things for political reasons.
Yes, and then the proximity of Nakuru to Nairobi, because someone would easily say that Nakuru should even have been a metropole to Nairobi. So just like maybe, yeah, for Nairobi, because of the proximity. Because you find like now the airport being there, just like I was saying, and then the distance between Nakuru and Nairobi, and then there's that huge airport, international airport, and then there is that one in Nairobi. Kisumu is a little bit far, so that proximity, then those challenges, I'm like, it should be a metropole or something of the sort. So
check your net, bro.
Okay, okay.
You talked about proximity. That sentence was not did not come out clear.
Proximity.
Okay. Okay. There are many factors. In my opinion, there are many factors to be considered. But Nakuru getting the city status, I believe it has. It is to do what? To release it into fully fledged development. So other than now, the way it has been, there have been tug of war. Even the stage ya matatu ilijengwa, wamekataa kufungua, things like that. But now when it has city status, kuna mambo mengi itakwenda. And then Nairobi is also expanding. We may eventually end up just being in the same place. Eventually. All the same.
Yeah,
Kenya inaendelea mbele na tunaendelea. So I want us to make progress. We go back to
Bernard,
James. No,
Bernard.
hold on.
Yes, yes.
Ni mimi nimepotea. Naomba nipatikane.
Yes, Bernard.
Naomba nipatikane. Yes.
Bernard.
Ngoja kwanza kila mtu. Ngoja everybody mute. Let me find myself. Remember, I looked for you. You are not found.
Yeah, I'm not yet found. I just want to come in. There's something you said there about WG raising issues about Nakuru.
Yes.
When you go to get married, are you getting a certificate because you've already proved that you can live with someone, or you're getting the certificate so that you can live with someone? WG is just not being fair. You see, once you become a city, it's up to the city managers and that particular city to maintain the status. Once you get a married status, it's up to those who are married to maintain the status. You can't blame the pastor who married you. So you go say that if Bernard got married and they are now divorcing, now you blame the pastor. Why did they even make them get married even before they were ready? I think WG is not being fair.
No, Themba, if we argue that way, then so many towns would come to claim. So many towns would
No, it's
come
okay.
to claim
And
because many of
WG,
them
hold on.
need the
Hold on,
pressure.
WG. You need to appreciate the.
I thought it was my time.
No, hold on, James.
Hold on, James. We are coming back to you, James. Wacha tumalizane na Themba.
WG need to appreciate the process. The Senate actually went and did before even the president came and assented to that. It went through the Senate, and the Senate said that this one can now be a city, right? Now, the amendment, that is 2017 amendment on how to become a city, it says that the maximum population is 250,000. It used to be 500,000. So right now it's 250,000. So you need to appreciate that infrastructure, the process of making it a city. But now it is up to the governance process for them to maintain the city status, right? So they came up with a strategic plan that is up to 2034, I think. So you need to look at that. How is it going to expand? They should be able to have a planning system. What is it that is going? So if the Kisumu city is not meeting certain things, it is the city managers. What are they doing about it? Once you've been given the city status, it's up to you to now go back and say, what are the things we want to do? What is the expansion process that we have in place? What are the water drainage system? What are the economic activities we want to engage in? You need to have a plan. And that is not for the government to do it for you. That's why now you have the counties around that. There's nothing wrong in even having a city next to another. Nakuru can be a city, another becomes a city, just like that. There's no problem as long as they can manage it. So this business of saying that because Kisumu has not...
Themba, please just look your mic, please. Your net, please.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sorry, Themba, go ahead.
Themba uko sawa?
Niko sawa eh? Huyo jamaa ndiye ako na shida zake.
Hata sina shida, ni vile nilikuwa naona unakatika bro.
Asante lakini. So finally, I just wanted to submit to WG because his logic, because they say if your logic is wrong, your conclusion will be wrong. His logic is because Kisumu is not maintaining its status in a good way. It doesn't mean that because Bernard's marriage is failing, so marriages are bad.
Themba, I didn't say that. Kisumu, we are coping up well, although because you will make some people to lynch me around. That is a very sensitive issue. So I'm only saying that I wanted to understand actually whether there are some threshold that has to be met first. But in Kisumu, we are doing fine. There are a lot of demolitions that I expect also to happen in in Nakuru. Those are some of the disadvantages that come with that status. Just to mention to them, to let them know.
Okay, thank you. I think you've been taken through. Yeah.
Yeah, I think WG has appreciated the point. You don't need to compare. Once you have been married off by Pastor Bernard, it's up to you to maintain your marital status. It's not for Bernard to maintain for you your marital status.
Thank you. Well guided, Themba. Appreciated. WG, you've been taken through the procedure, and then city status is applied for. You apply for, and you'll be considered by the Senate and the other committee. So it's not just waking up and you run around with the certificate and it's given out. It's a long process, and it's even debated before it is approved. Thank you very much, guys. We are doing well. Let us keep engaging. James. Hi, to habari.
Yes, Bernard.
Yes.
Now, there's something that the president said, that the youth should be very careful about being excited by promises that are being made, and the speed with which all this is coming should not be the guide to the kind of decisions that they are going to make. That was very telling. He also saying that you can get power through this system, but if you do not have the right environment, that means peace, then you will not achieve what you said you could do for the people. In other words, he was saying that if we have a situation like the one that was facing us in 2017, even if you won the elections, it will amount to nothing. It will not be beneficial to the people you promised and the country. Then there is the issue of age. I think the president is very much aware that a campaign will be mounted on account of age. And that is why he made a strong pitch for Raila Amolo Odinga that age is not a matter. It is about the brains. It's about the ideas that you have in your head. I think the president is very well guided that age will be one of the issues that will be used to discredit the candidature of Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. Then you also notice that Kenyatta, the first Kenyatta, Jomo Kenyatta, came to power at the age of 75, if I'm not very wrong. And he ruled the country for 14 years. Then Moi was 54. He was a young man when he took over. Then you also notice that Kenyatta was 71 or thereabouts when he took the reins of power. Uhuru was in his late 40s, if I'm not very wrong, 50 or thereabouts.
James, you're mixing up names. James, you're mixing up names. Jomo Kenyatta was 75. Kibaki
the old
21.
Kenyatta, the Jomo Kenyatta was around 75 years. Moi was about 54.
Was 55.
Or thereabouts. Kibaki was 71 when he took over.
Yes.
Uhuru was around 50, if I'm not wrong. So it only means naturally we should go for a much older leader to correct the mistakes of the young. And I think that is where the president was coming from. That when you compare all these, it's not about age. Because if it was about age, who would have then thought that Kibaki would have achieved so much for the country? So basically, that is what it is. Then you also find that the messaging of the deputy president in his current campaigns is facing headwinds because he has been talking about the same thing for a very long time. Now he talks about ODM he talks about ODM as the party that is driving BBI, which is not the fact. When you actually go deeper, you find that this is a document that was pushed by many Kenyans from various parts of the country. So I don't know really what he wants to achieve by this, or maybe he has nothing else to say, and he has to keep saying what comes from his mind. But it is also very tiring that the president said, we will make sure that what did not happen will happen, meaning this is something that has not gone away. It is coming, and it is there. And I dare say that perhaps the president and his brother, his elder brother, could be planning to trap the young man. Once they are sure through their systems, the intelligence systems, that BBI is very popular, they might even suggest it to be part of the voting that we'll do as we go to the next elections, and that we will just have to deal a death bell on deputy president. Thank you.
Thank you very much, James. Themba, is your turn to make your submission. Themba, are you able to get me? Oh, okay. Heck is still okay, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate all of you for keeping at Mtembei TV. We appreciate Alan Onyando. Thank you very much. David Olo, wewe ni wetu, karibu sana. Wycliffe Machora, thank you for your continued support and comments. Mkali wetu, tunawashukuru sana kwa kujumuika nasi katika Mtembei TV. Tunaomba tuendelee pamoja. Karibisha mtu watch stationi, apate habari ambazo zinafaa kuelewa masuala ya siasa na jinsi vile nchi inaenda. Hiyo ndio jukumu letu kama Wakenya, na wakifika wakati wa kupiga kura, piga kura vizuri ukitumia ubongo kama vile rais amesema. Usitumie emotions, usitumie mambo mengine. Thank you. So Mtembei, Themba, are you ready to talk now?
Yes. I can prosecute my point.
Yes,
I had come earlier by, first of all, responding to WG, but I guess I had heard him talk, and his views were rather interesting. But the Nakuru city status is a good thing. I mean, achieving a status at any point simply means that you are growing, and growth is good. Yeah, so of interest to me was the celebration. Hold on a little bit. Bernard, you can bring me on later. Yeah.
Okay, we'll have you when you are back. Thank you. Penny, what do you think?
Maybe someone else should contribute and listen.
Okay. Then I think I should what? All right. let's get some comments from. Hey, by the way, Penny, there was somebody voting for you for women. Somebody sent a message on the comments specifically to ask where you are, and he says you are competent to be women rep. So can you state your location? Una, at least you have one vote already. So Penny, are you buying?
Not really, not really.
But you are for the office. I think we should second you as if not national
Mutembei women rep.
No, if not national cabinet secretary, at least county cabinet secretary for all affairs or home affairs.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay, let me see. So Themba, are you back or
Yes,
wait for
I'm
another?
back. I'm back right now.
Please do that na inaonekana station tutafunga mapema leo. Kama
Yeah.
hamna nini ya kuongezea tunaanza kufungasha. Thank you.
So my attention was drawn to the celebration by the UDA members that the only 2 MPs attended the function. You know, I would find that very ironical, because when you're saying that you have the interest of the people, and then when the people's needs or when the government is responding to the people's needs, like for example the city status, that's a major thing for the people, right? So you'd expect that the people that you purport to represent, you'd come and at least celebrate them. You know, the city, when it becomes a city, if you become a governor, that will be a city that you'll want to manage, whichever government comes in. So when they purported to celebrate that they did not attend a function that was elevating the city to a city status, it shows you where their priorities are. They are more interested in their individual gain, not necessarily on the people's gain. Because I understand, like the deputy president went and attended while Uhuru was going to give his State of the Nation address, you know, and that was, and he listened to what was being said. Why didn't he abscond that? Yet in the past he has not agreed with the president, you see. So when you want to suggest and insinuate that if I don't like you, even if they're bringing a service that is good for the people, you will be against it, then it tells more about you as a leader, which for me, I think Kenyans should sit down carefully and, you know, interrogate such kind of leaders. When you come and tell me that you have my interests at heart, and then you go ahead to behave in such a manner, then you are telling me where your priorities are. I also wish to. I am normally not very keen on progressing the age debate. You can see James trying to progress the idea of age, that because someone is older, they are likely to do a better job. I don't agree with that. Museveni is old, but he's been fairly a dictator in Uganda, and also other cases. We have numerous cases where those people who are older have not necessarily been good leaders, right? So I don't think age is the qualification for Baba's presidency. In fact, age shouldn't be something that we want to point out across so much, that you know, because this person is younger or because this person is older, they are likely to be better leaders. It is the quality of the person's delivery that should determine the leadership that we want to give him. In other developed democracies, they don't discuss age. They discuss what policies do you have. You know, age is not a discussion. When you see someone trying to reduce the contest to something about age, then they are basically running out of ideas and ideology. You're running out of substance. You know, you're running out of what you need to talk about, core issues that affect the local mwananchi. It's not about the age of the person. It's about what is it that the person is going to do for us. Like the other time, we were being treated here to some interesting shenanigan that because Ruto can dance, then he can be a president. How many people can dance that cannot make good leaders? So we need to separate the two, agility and the acumen of the mind and leadership ability of the individual. So yes, the indication is I know those who are those of us who are supporting Baba, anything that is going either non-verbal or otherwise that tends to indicate that Uhuru is having a soft spot for Baba is going to be interpreted like so. And the other side, anything that Uhuru does, like yesterday when probably he mentioned Raila many times, that was an issue that they differed with, you know, as expected. I think you have seen a clip where Duale was giving a press conference and the president had not even left parliament. And when he passed by, Duale had to keep quiet because he was just about to say something. You know, the loyalty to the extent that we cannot think. You know, Duale could not see anything in the speech apart from the length of it. You know, some people were not even thinking that, okay, fine, when they go to campaign podiums, they are constantly talking about the same things, you know, that the Jubilee government has done. And they want to attribute that success to the deputy president, you see. So when the president is coming to parliament and trying to even giving them some campaign content that they can go and use instead of just going and make noise and talk about 2013 and all that, they can actually use the same things the president was talking about. That Kenya is right now number 6 in Africa, which in my view, that could have been content that they can use, that because of the deputy president, the Kenya is now at number 6 because that's what they're used to be doing. And the president gave them too much content. And what they are going back, instead of going back to the tired line of wale wanataka vyeo na sisi tunataka uchumi kwanza, instead of going to that line which has been you know, overtaken by events, because since then the BBI has been stopped by the courts, you know. So there's no BBI between now and next year, you know, next year during elections. So there's no BBI up to that time. And even if there was BBI, if a constitutional amendment is to take place, it doesn't come with anybody's name written on it. Anybody who gets to power becomes a beneficiary of that constitutional provision, you know. Then dividing the country like it is us versus them. The same Deputy President William Samoei Ruto voted no for the constitution. It was not us versus them. When the constitution passed, he is a beneficiary. So he's busy saying how wengine wanataka na sisi tunataka uchumi kwanza, and the president is saying these things have been met. I think he's becoming embarrassed. So what does he do? He has to go back to what he thinks is where the people, you know, someone has to keep reminding you what made you angry. So because he is imagining that people were angry with the BBI, so he has to keep mentioning that, not knowing that actually we have already crossed that bridge. We are not there anymore, you know, and things are happening. The president gave them a blow-by-blow achievement of what has happened to date. They were embarrassed. They don't know how to even face it. So what do? They had to attack the only thing they thought was nice, time, that it took too long. You know, what is so long in someone giving you the achievements of the government? I mean, for 9 years, Ruto has been campaigning just to say one thing that they told me 10 years and me 10 years. That's the longest, shortest speech ever. It takes you 9 years to keep saying yangu kumi yako kumi, and you're repeating the same thing. You rather have 2 hours of many achievement than 9 years of the same thing. So I also found very interesting. I don't know how UDA, I'm beginning to say UDA can keep campaigning. They're making our democracy vibrant because Kenya is a multi-party democracy. People can organize themselves in many different political parties. That's a good thing. So they are relevant to our democracy, and we need them. We need their participation, and we need an active a growing democracy that is multi-party democracy has strong parties. So if UDA can organize themselves and become a very strong party, that's good enough. Because sometimes you need very good competitors for you to even enjoy the sweet victory that Baba is going to have. If you have weak parties, it's not going to be a very sweet victory come next year. So I appreciate the UDA guys. And they were saying, Bernard, let me say this. They were saying that why didn't Uhuru say where it has failed? You know, you don't go and tell people you don't measure on your weaknesses when you're going somewhere. You go and blow up your strengths. You leave the other person to to measure on your weakness, because now if Uhuru talks about whatever things that the government has done, what will they use? They need that. They need to go and attack Baba. They need to go and attack Uhuru on the things they think are negative. That is their mandate, and that's why it's a competition. I think for now I'll stop there.
Okay, thank you, Themba. That is a good one. And I also say that UDA need to outgrow the adolescent approach to politics. It is about time leaders stood on their own feet, because this sycophancy is too much, that you cannot attend a meeting where the president is, because if you do, your loyalty to the deputy president will be put in question. That is not how a nation is built. That's not how to become a solid national political leader. Difference in opinion and difference in political persuasion doesn't necessarily mean that I have to be a sycophant or always dance to the tune of an individual. In fact, if you're loyal to the deputy president, is putting you in question to your loyalty to the president, then that is a sure indication that you are on the wrong lane. And those members of parliament or those county leaders that kept off the function simply because they are identifying with UDA and the function is being presided over by the president, in my opinion, that is a fall back in the progress of what our democracy tenets stand for. There is nothing wrong with, even if you are in opposition or whatever party, there is what is called state function. A state function is a Kenyan function. It's not a party function. So why should you abscond from a national issue or something that will bring about national interest in your locality? Because if you do, your yellow t-shirt will be taken. To me, that is too low. That is too low of those leaders, and in my opinion, they should be ashamed of the same. Secondly, the country is moving in a particular direction. This is a very historical elections. Let everybody make themselves count by ensuring that you do your part to secure the destiny of this nation by, number one, becoming a voter, and then number two, making sure that you vote, and number three, vote wisely. Issue of age, Themba put it very well, and they say age is just a number. It has experience with it through the number. And then if I would use Themba's own words, being old alone doesn't make you wise. You say even fools grow old. So uh, being old doesn't make necessarily that you are capable of doing that. But there is what life offers you as you grow old or as you age that nothing else can replace, especially in the life of the youthful people. And so the best way to grow old well is grow old along older people who will help you understand and interpret some of the complications that you run into, and probably you become better. And that's my free advice, especially to those young politicians. Don't be a politician who has made himself by the greenhorns politicians who are also crippling in the dark, looking for the way forward. Learn from old bonds. Follow the steps of people who have developed their political capacity, not accidentals wherever people who just happened to be. Now, like now, the politics of Kenya has become politics of association. Take a selfie with so and so, take a selfie with so and so, identify with so, and you think you're in the same leg. I was talking to one of my pastors and say that the purpose that God places people who are in different seasons in the same space is not to equalize them, but to offer an opportunity for the people who are in the lower season to learn from those that have gone ahead. So you may be in the same political space with Raila Odinga. That doesn't make you his equal. There is what you need to learn from him. So you are put in the same space for you to draw from his experience. But if you get there and you think you are a politician, I'm a politician, so we are equal, that's how you make a mess out of yourself. And history has a lot to offer. People had promising destinies. Like Malala has succeeded to eat up his own destiny right now. I don't think he's going anywhere with right now. He has finished eating and digging his own grave politically. He's not going anywhere. He has refused to learn from Namwamba, which was offering a very good lesson for him. He has refused to draw any lesson from history. And so it's important that we wake up and see to it that we do the right thing no matter who goes wrong. I believe it's time for us to begin to wind up. So we'll do our closing remarks, starting with, I think, WG.
Yeah, Bernard, I wanted to also put emphasis on the president's speech and address to the youth. He made a very he made a very call, a big call to the youth to use their brain when they are choosing. Because number one, the youths apparently are UDA's number one target. And that's the reason why you see even the narrative about Raila Odinga being an old man, so that it may appeal to them that now William Ruto is a young person. Although William Ruto is not such a young person, he's a grandpa, by the way. So that narrative that so and so is old does not hold water. But I wanted to agree with the president that the target that can easily drive this country into wrong hands are the excitements of the youth. And because when you see all around, even in Central and other places, you find that they are the ones who are so excited about the excitement that UDA is introducing. So we need also to each and everyone engage with the youths, so that even the politicians, and I think Raila Odinga's campaign camp should have strategies how they are going to appeal or reach those youths so that they can understand. There is another danger that this one looms mainly in Western. And it becomes a danger to me just because the Western region, I think I will repeat it, it might be the others where the swing vote might be. Ruto having seen Central slipping away from him, as in he's not going to get the entire region, I think his next target must be Western, and that's the reason why even right now there's a lot of attempts, deliberate attempts to get Musalia Mudavadi to his side, because he wants to compensate the lost vote in Central from Western. So, but there is a feeling in Western that there is a kind of betrayal between Mudavadi and Raila. I think the Raila's camp also should sit down and strategize how to reach that territory, that region. It's not gonna be as easy as he used to get it, although it's known that Western people have been they've been giving votes to many people, not definitely Raila, but they've shown some good indication to people who've reached them to ask for votes. So Western, I find if Raila is to succeed well, they should put more effort in their approach there, salvaging the lost ground. How they are going to reach at that, I think it's up to them. They should look for strategies because I'm one person who believes that things are not the same.
I can speak for Western. Western, we have our leaders, and we know who we follow, and we know how to vote. Malala, Halwale, and all the Uda people there, they are on payroll, and everybody in the land knows they are on payroll. When they are finished, they will be sent home. But the Western vote, it may not be 100%, but the majority of the lion's share of it will go for Baba. Baba has his own constituency there. By even those people campaigning against him, when they enter the voting booth, the angel of the Lord will stand and tell them to vote for Baba. So I'm not worried about the Western vote at all. And then also the Noah Wekesa factor is called Amisi. So the Transoya. Okay. Now
Bernard,
that is the yes.
would you ask WG what is the source of his thesis? What is the source of his assertions? Because we don't want to rely on media.
No, he's speaking. He's expressing his fears. It's not a thesis. His fears. So let me address his fears, please.
Themba, I interact a lot. I interact a lot with people
You are
from
interacting
Western.
with wrong people. You are interacting with wrong people. People like
There are so
Halwale.
many
Halwale means a
Western
sick
people
person.
here on this platform. Have you asked us?
Sorry,
Wekesa is here. I am here.
There are so many of us here.
Which other representation from Western do you need? Angela is here. She will be coming. Mama will believe.
I have people. Yes, okay. We have people who are.
Inawezekana ako hapa. So shida iko wapi? So
Yes.
let me just conclude, please. Let me conclude. So
Okay.
We continue. So from the way the Hamisi MP brought Baba, Transoya, and all that shifting, it's very difficult to swing it over, even with even with Mudavadi as running mate for Ruto. The only thing that may bring about a serious disturbance to Baba's vote in Western is if Ruto says Mudavadi tosha. That can upset the mathematics somehow. But as long as he's going there as a running mate, we will go with our prophetic destiny, which is our leadership is going to come from the lake and then enter Western. That remains. And I believe that's where all the mature voters are. And fortunately, the young turks that are making noise did not register as voters. So let them remain in UDA. They will not vote. They don't have voters card. They will eat the money. But the really decision makers, who are us, we are going to vote the right way. Kenya is about to be reborn again. Asante. Sasa shida ndio hiyo, ukifanya submission ukiwa chair unasahau kule ulikuwa.
No, you haven't helped
Themba, what
WG.
you say?
You need to tell WG that it is important that when he's trying to make his assertions, he also bases them on previous available records, like performance of the leaders that have been there against the performance of Baba in the previous election, the obtaining moment in terms of the MPs and stuff that are already there. Then that one can inform maybe a future pattern, voting pattern. So I think that way the WG can be more not on the fearful side, but yes, politics is a competition and people have to work, but not from the fear perspective. But there's already Baba has an advantage so far. But you're right about one thing, that politics is competition. You have to continuously strategize, change your tactics, and make sure for some reason you remain focused on the ultimate prize. So WG, I hope that from the lawyers in the house, the people who happen to have had some of their bulls fighting with Khalwales, like Wekesa and Bernard, they have given you the true picture on the ground.
Themba, you see, my worry was coming from the fact that we had members of parliament that have gone silent. Either they've gone silent or they are strongly affiliated to ANC, even if they were elected on ODM ticket. So when I mentioned that Baba should look for a strategy to,
for example,
in order to reach the likes of Khaniri, the likes of who else? There are those popular faces that we used to see who have gone totally silent. So we ask where one can ask where they are. We don't want.
When you look at ANC, even the last man who was standing, the deputy party leader, has a problem with the party leader, Savula. So what are you telling us? In fact, every other members of ANC have been poached by Ruto. And so Mudavadi stands as an empty shell. That's why Malala is the only solo choir singing for ANC and trying to stand on a hill and make it loud so that he can be heard. He's hearing his own echoes. But when you look at ANC, there is no support. Mudavadi stands alone. The next person supporting him is this already sold to UDA. So if you bring the conversation of ANC up, apana. In fact, ANC cannot be a threat to ODM.
And also
in fact,
the other thing,
UDA has found a very good shop to buy from. I think they tried to buy ODM, they didn't succeed. So they opted on this other kiosk that was easily selling whatever they had stocked. So they have bought everybody, including Malala. So they are finishing Mudavadi to force him to accept anything they give him. So the worst mistake for Mudavadi to do is to go to UDA, because they came, they bought your children, they cooked them, they ate them, and now they have come for you.
No, the strategy is you don't go there with the numbers. The numbers go there so you come alone, so you cannot bargain for anything. You know, the aim of Ruto, what he has been doing, and look at even these other parties, TSP, Kuria, and even Kuria abandoned this party. You take all their children so that even if they wanted negotiation, they don't have anything to negotiate for. They are coming as an empty shell. So that has been the strategy of UDA finishing these other partners. So you don't bargain for anything. You rather come in as an individual in UDA. So if ANC going to UDA, there's nothing it's going to add other than the PR that we have one of the principals who has transferred. If somebody like Wetangula goes to UDA, all his MPs are in UDA. So he's not going with anything. He's just going with that perception that another principle. The same way we took Isaac Ruto from Rift Valley and added to the NASA, and he was one of the principals, but in a nutshell, he was not bringing any substantial vote.
Then I think just to add, we need to appreciate the approach of the deputy president as opposed to the approach of Raila. The approach of the deputy president is to weaken all the parties and make UDA strong. The approach of Raila is to partner with the other parties. So the deputy president realized that the weakness of the other parties is in lack of finances. So what did he do? All those people who do not have campaign finance, he approached them. Now it is strategic that we are not hearing most of those MPs talking, because they are going there for their campaign finance. Now, statistic has it that 75% of most MPs don't come back. So the ground is really hot right now. If you don't strategize well and you don't have the money, you will not come back. So it's one thing you can celebrate that UDA has 156 MPs, like they keep saying, and I don't know who else they are unleashing tomorrow that has defected for purposes of they are unleashing the same 156. So tomorrow they'll go take a photo with another one that this one has defected to UDA. But you see, when a sitting MP defects to the other party, that is not enough. You know, all the APs next year, all the seats will be vacant. So even them, they'll be fighting. So even if you're supporting UDA, even if you're supporting which party, if you're going to still even you seek, unless you have unopposed. If you're not unopposed, you are going to competition. Probably the ground is so tough for them. So when you don't see certain people, the ground is tough for them also. If you have not been working for 5 years and the only thing that you have is running around with the deputy president, you will not go back. So you're not going to see most of them in the near future, because the ground is getting hot and all of them have gone back to also try to get back to parliament. But the deputy president's philosophy is to kill all the other parties. How do you kill the parties? Look for all the hungry ones, those who don't have money to campaign. Tell them, come, I'm going to give you money to campaign. So they're singing your name all around, and you're giving them money. Now, Mudavadi might not give the money to campaign. That's why most of the UDA guys, I mean, ANC guys are going to him. He built for Malala a house. So Malala is basically his stooge. He's one who helped the other time, this guy, what's his name? The one who puts on Didymus, said that it is the deputy president who helped him get into
We are colleagues.
We are colleagues. So all those people are his stooges, you know. Those are his foot soldiers. So he looks for hungry people. So
In
I
fact,
can, yeah.
the challenge of Davadi is there are other upcoming leaders. And that is his worry. In fact, he has been avoiding Baba because he thinks Oparanya is becoming strong. Eugene is becoming strong. And so there are other upcoming leaders that can Baba can easily replace them and feel like nothing has happened. I can tell you for free, Eugene has more command in Bugusu votes than Wetangula, because Eugene combines Transoya and Bungoma. And that still the name Wamalwa is strong.
The use of deputy presidency to get into the presidency seems to be proving otherwise. Okay, so this running mate issue, that if I'm a running mate, I'm going to have an upper hand in succeeding the president. Historically, and even in the current crisis that we are in, is proving to be otherwise. So should the people like Mudavadi, who have aspiration for presidents, and Kalonzo and the team, instead of fighting to be running mate, they should avoid it, because it's easier to go for presidents directly than using the deputy's office to ascend to presidents. I don't know how you think about it, but I guess it's a good debate to look into.
Yes, Bernard, I think that was a good input as far as Western is concerned. There was a growing sentiment that let us, even if Mudavadi is going to fail, let us fail with him. That is that is very sad, very sad. Wekesa.
No, those are the sound bites of the rally, and you saw only those were 100 people, my friend. Those you cannot. That is not the general feeling on the ground. You have mobilized a few people. They are not more than, like, I can tell you today. If you watched how DP did his rallies in Machakos, you can think like Machakos is for him. Today, I personally attended his rally, and I was actually 20 meters next to the DP. I stood there and listened to him. The way he recites his performance and whatever.
In Machakos.
Machakos. And then he came and said, for the hustlers of Machakos, I'm going to give them 1.5 million. But I will organize with the MP on Friday. So I thought like he's waiting for the hens to lay eggs on Friday so that he can sell 1.5 and bring. But on the optics, you see that is you see the mass of people. But when you are there, you see this guy has just literally blocked the center of the town, and all the vehicles have stood. All the movement has been inhibited for that period. So people accumulate there, and we come to see. So you will think he has a crowd and everybody's excited. When he says bottom up, even me, I will say raise the hand just to make him happy. But at the end of the day, you wanted to listen and see what happens in his rallies. You want to get the message. You want to get what happens on the ground. I can tell you for free the rally that Oka did. In fact, they finished by looking more weak when they reached Transoya. Gideon was not there already. Kalonzo alikuwa amekosana na huyu jamaa anaitwa Malala. The guys don't have a message. When they go on the ground, people are still wondering what is Oka up to. So don't tell us that these people are creating any. They are eating into the population of Raila or Ruto. Actually, the only person who can eat part of Ruto's has been Ruto, because Ruto has a message. Even if sometimes it's exaggerated, but it has some consistency. But look at Mudavadi today when he goes to a rally, instead of addressing the voters, he addresses the IBC. Instead of addressing the voters, he addresses Uhuru, don't be calling us. So he doesn't have a message to sell. He has packaged himself as a guy who can repair the economy. But apart from the sound bite that Uchumi Bora, what else have you ever heard about Mudavadi in terms of Uchumi? Actually, he doesn't start out as somebody who can repair the economy. So people sell him as someone who knows much about the economy, but listen to Mudavadi, he will not make two sentences on economy. In fact, he will only go and poke holes. You are telling us 6,000 utatoa wapi. You are telling us bottom up. Yes, he can poke holes. But in terms of himself structuring a message and selling it as an agenda to the people, telling them this is what I'm going to do as an economist, he has no. And that's where the people are not able to place exactly where is Mudavadi is. He's just fluking. You cannot exactly put him. Is he aligning with Baba? Is he aligning with Ruto? Is he going alone? He is into survival politics. You sit on the fence. The challenge with fence sitting is that when you sit on the fence for a long period of time, people tend to write you off. So people have understood that that is his character, that is his nature. He likes sitting on the fence and trying to weigh options and trying to disparage others and trying to create some bitterness and rebuttals to people, but they know exactly that he will not give a community the direction it needs. When you tell us that by the way, to create a wave in Luyaland, you must be a genius. And the only person who did that was Wamalo Kijana. The current group of leaders cannot create a wave in Luyaland. So the vote will still be eaten by Ruto and Raila. I can tell you that for free.
The other thing about Mudavadi is on the issue of fence sitting. You see, Mudavadi waited to be given when the Madimoni thing came up. Then during the BBI, Mudavadi kept on flip-flopping. He went and even signed the thing, and then later he's like, yes, we need to be very accommodative with this thing. Then, of course, now he appears. Then he keeps on saying we need to accommodate everyone. So he was appearing to be ish-ish. Immediately, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're back. You're back. Go ahead.
WG, you are against me. Why are you going with my network? Okay. Yeah, so immediately when the BBI was overturned by the Court of Appeal, you heard what Madividi said. He seemed to want to go with it, that even him, he was against it. So Madividi is this person who is probably waiting on the fence, that and even he wants to portray himself like, if you follow Raila, that's the other extreme. If you follow Ruto, that's the other extreme. I'm the only one who is in the middle. But right now, what has made it so bad for him is Malala, because you see, you can't be a party leader who your juniors are constantly dressing you down in every rally. Give Malala the mic, and what he tells the crowd is, hawa watu wakikataa hatutamfuata, tumwambie. You can't do that. You need to accord your party leaders some respect. So he's even exposing them. He's exposing, and I think if you can't manage your own people to believe that they have a plan, right now you've not seen anybody coming out giving Raila address down that why haven't you announced? You need to announce if you are running or not. If you don't announce tomorrow, we are going. Raila has not announced. So far, it's only one person who has come out so strongly, the UDA candidate. Raila has just been saying he's doing the Azimio la Umoja. You have not seen any foot soldier taking the mic and standing out there saying, Raila, if you don't announce by tomorrow, we are walking away, we are looking for other options. As a leader, you need to manage your troops. So Malala has been, in fact, ANC people have been constantly dressing down their leaders. And I think that's not a good leader, you know. And since they cannot manage him, he's actually decampaigning them in many fronts than one. The more they think Malala is doing them a favor, he's actually decampaigning them. Maybe he's on payroll. Probably there's something he wants to achieve, you know. You can't keep on give your party leader, trust his wisdom, that whatever it is, even Uhuru has not come out clearly to support Raila. You know, and nobody has come to tell him that now you should tell us as a party leader in Jubilee where we are going. If you don't tell us we are going this side, apart from, you know, the Tanga group that, of course, they have another leader. So one particular quality of leadership is being able to manage the disagreements within your party. You could have all those issues, but especially as they are managing their coalition agreement, the foot soldiers need to trust the process. So they're even making it difficult for the Oka guys to even function. So they feel like they are being driven by this Akina Malala. You know, Malala feels like he's the one forcing them. You need to agree. If you don't agree by tomorrow, if you don't agree by this time, no, they have a timeline. Give them time, you know. So that for me is what I can say. And also,
before you move from there, Nani, Temba, there's something that Mdawadi has done. In terms of
hold on, both of you, Temba and Wekesa, okay. Hold on.
Okay, sorry, we hijacked your meeting.
Community and inawezekana have not said anything. Please,
I mean, they are here. You know, the power is taken; it is not given. So you
see, you are the one who sent that confused man here to come and tell us power is.
We just sit there.
I think Bernard may chair this.
Yes, Bonnie, nimesikia.
Yeah, I'm saying that Bernard, please. You see, we are just listening from Wekesa. From Wekesa, it goes to my friend here, Temba. From Temba, it goes back to Wekesa. From Wekesa, it goes to Bernard. So we don't know where we are.
Sorry.
That's how
we are getting this.
That's how
we are getting. You're not enjoying the conversation.
The conversation is like history.
Bonnie.
That's how power goes. You are sitting there waiting, and it goes.
Let's allow. Okay, sometimes let's allow the conversation.
Okay, order everybody.
Thank you. Don't have just a normal narrative that you could.
Okay. I get you, Wekesa. It's okay, Wekesa.
Okay, order, Wekesa. You're out of order. Everybody mute your mics. Okay, let's go back to the floor. All right. So Wekesa, you are talking about Mudavadi did what? Finish that your statement and to end direct kwa community na inawezekana na tunafunga station tafadhali.
I think it was inawezekana first.
Yes, Bernard, I think it was me.
You cannot overrule the speaker. The ruling has been given. So Wekesa finish your Mudavadi sentence.
Mine was not a contribution. I was just commenting on members. So let me just in 1 minute. I was saying that I saw a letter circulating. Before that letter circulated, this guy called Malala had a problem with Safula. And you know, Malala and Safula are competing for governorship, for that nomination of governorship at Kakamega. Now, Malala has a problem with Savula, and then he says that this guy is speaking for ODM, and then a resolution is made in ANC to punish Savula based on the recommendation of Malala. Savula, imagine, is the deputy party leader, And this other guy just a recommendation is made based on someone is feeling one senator. You know, it doesn't make sense. So that's where I see that this guy has hijacked ANC and David is there as a robot.
But you remember when Malala attacked ANC, and he said that ANC is a party, the Secretary General is a Luya, party leader is a Luya, MPs are Luyas, and then he's the one who attacked them. So and now they are chasing Savula Aluya. So it's a village party. Should back to Bernard.
Wachaneni na chama cha wenyewe tafadhali. Ninyi kaeni kwa chama yenu. Okay, community. Is it community ama inawezekana?
Yeah.
Okay, tupatie inawezekana. Inawezekana kwanza. Haya, iwezekane.
Yes, thank you. Itawezekana. Yes, you know, when you guys are talking about Western, we just feel excited. In fact, that's just what I want to comment on. You know, sisi watu wa Western, and especially me from Busia, it's just like pheromones. You know, when bees, their way of communication is just, wakisikia harufu fulani, they are just attracted to it. And you know, sisi tangu 2007, even before 2007, we have had Baba as our leader. Raila Amolo Odinga has been our leader, and I don't think that one is going to change soon. So Malala, the direction he is taking, he should consult this other guy, this bullfighter. He should consult him very keenly. Anafaa amuulize aliendaje kisiasa. Concerning the Nakuru event, that was a good step up. Mr. Uhuru Kenyatta finally has declared, yani amesema kwa umma ya kwamba his favorite candidate ni Mr. Raila Amolo Odinga. Okay, hajaisema directly, but to some sense it's just direct, and that is what most of the people, most of Baba partners, now we call them partners, not followers. Most of Baba's partners were waiting on that, and we have been rejuvenated. Unajua tulikuwa tumetulia, tuko na wasiwasi kidogo. Sasa tulikuwa tunataka tu kusikia that statement coming from the head of state. And with that, I think Mr. Ruto should just hide, because this is just clear. Those who have eyes should just use their eyes to see what is happening and where the country is headed to. One last thing, it was about this event that this campaign trail that Mr. Deputy alikuwa anafanya kule, was it Machakos? Yani the guy has nothing to say. Mr. Wekesa said he was on the ground, but me, I was watching, and you just unaangalia tu watu venye the way they are reacting to the way the deputy is speaking. The guy has nothing to say to people. Yani tunatoka bottom, tunaenda up. Yani what is that? Unashangaa tu what is happening, you know? So yeah, I was excited with the way the president alisema kwamba some people are just running 100 meters, and some of us, we know wazee ambao wako, they have political experience, and they wanajua marathon. So hii siasa ni a marathon, si 100 meters. So that's just my contribution. When I have another point, I will contribute. Thank you, Mr. Bernard and other panelists.
Okay, thank you. Inawezekana. Haya, community, chukulia hapo, tuende mbele.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair, Mr. Bernard, and your fellow co-chairs, that is Mr. Wekesa, Mr. Themba, and Madam Penny, and my fellow panelists. In fact, mine today is very, very short. You know, when you see President Uhuru Kenyatta laughing, any minute after the end of that tricky laughter, he will spew some words of wisdoms, which in fact each and every person can those words augur well more so to the people who supports Baba so much. Now, the event which took place in Nakuru, that is the elevation of Nakuru into a city. In fact, this is a good indication that the people of Nakuru and even the people of Kenya, in fact, will be able to get some good fruits in terms of job creation, because I know now Nakuru as a city, it will attract more investors who will come, others will erect businesses, others will build industries, and then young people will be able to get jobs, and at the end of the day, they will be able to put food on their tables. And also in the issue of Uhuru Raila political strategy, I can be able to say that dalili ya mvua ni mawingu. In fact, you remember some days back in Kisumu, Madaraka Day celebration, you had the first sign of President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, my April president, trying to show us a sign of the very person who is likely to take over the mantle of Kenya leadership from him. And then in Kibra, you remember when he said that I'm with Mzee Baba here, so it is up to you to do what? To choose well. And then today, again, the president, in fact, he has said that, in fact, all the people, just 1 minute, I'll come and conclude.
Okay, thank you. If you find us, well and good. If you don't, see you in the another show. Bonnie.
Yes, Bernard.
Endelea.
What I can just the advice that I can just give the UDA, they are very much bitter. You see, it's like I was a footballer one day when I was in a primary and secondary. But when we went there and we found the team which was very tough, we were like complaining and just wanting to fight them. So the advice that I would like to give to UDA is that they have to calm down, to calm themselves. They have a great temper. When they are doing this about the campaigning, they have to calm down. You see, that bitterness, it will just make them remain without any followers, because the bitterness cannot even create anything, cannot bring a development in our country. But you see, Baba with Azimio la Umoja, this guy, he knows how to capture the Kenyans. And
Bonnie,
he has, yeah.
why do you want them not to be bitter? I mean, I needed to do anything that can make them lose votes. If they want to be bitter, let them continue being bitter.
Thank you, Temper. Thank you. You see, they have already known that they are losing the voters. That's why they are bitter. I don't know this. The MP of Bahati, what do we call him? This guy is very bitter, and he stated there. I heard him just stated that I'm ready to die. You see, if they are ready to die, why are they in politics? we need the people who are very serious and who can just take
No,
Kenyans. Yeah.
that Bahati guy is selling fear. You know, they want to sell fear now. But for me, I like the way they are bitter. They need to continue being bitter, you know, so that they chase votes. I don't want them to win. I don't want even them to calm down. They should not calm down. They should continue that way.
I myself, I was just wanting a team.
You're becoming a bad therapist.
I
Mgonjwa akiumwa apewe dawa.
Bernard.
Yes.
Themba is right because there is something which is happening inside him. He have to vomit. Okay, fine. I was just wanting these two games, two horses. These are two horses run, themselves to behave. You see, like Baba is behaving like a mature person. He's working very hard and knowing where he is going. And these people who are the tanga and the bottom up, they don't understand themselves. They don't know where they are heading. So advice that I can just give them, wakuwe wapole, kama wameshindwa na safari waachane nayo, maana baba ameanza kugain momentum, na vile Uhuru alisema kwamba wasifikirie kwamba mzee ni mzee. Kweli mzee, hii ni safari ya marathon. So we need them to humble themselves and to know that the Kenyans wanahitaji maendeleo. We don't need these people who are saying that the fight can be there or tutawaonyesha. You see, we don't want fight in Kenya. Tumechoka na kukula tear gas, tumechoka na kukula maji ile ambayo tunaoshwa nayo. We want a new Kenya which accommodate everyone. Thank you, Bernard.
But let me say something to what Bonia said. You know, I need them to continue being upset. Let them continue throwing wherever they go. Let them continue being bitter. What I request Baba's side is to be calm, be composed, focused, just address issues. Baba has in few occasions we'll even hear him mention even UDA and all. He'll be very clear on the things he wants to achieve. So I like it. Let them be bitter. Let them show us who they are. I think that is good. Napoleon Bonaparte said that do not disturb your enemy when they are busy making mistakes. Don't even advise them. Yesterday, Uhuru gave them enough things that they should be working with. Let them forget. Let them not even mention that. Let them concentrate on the time that it was too long. Let them continue.
A minute, Themba, a minute. Bernard Pole. I'm just saying that these people of UDA, they have not even tested the tear gas. They have never tested even the GSU Kiboko. And I think that where they are heading to there. And I'm very sorry for them because tear gas is not a sweet thing as they think. They will be there in hospitalized. We, like I was in ODM the other side when the Baba was coming. We were steered in Nairobi. It was not an easy game. But them tell they just let them just, like for example, why did DP not resign to become as a normal person? Mbona anatumia vitu za umma? Ange resign kama yeye ni mwanaume, at least aende street kule. Hawezi toshana na baba bwana. So the only thing that they humble themselves and they will see the fruits of whatever. If they are failing, let them fail. Thank you.
Show me one picture where the DP is anapigwa na tear gas. One picture.
Nowhere. Huyo ni mwoga kabisa.
There's nowhere that the DP has ever. So I for me, let them continue, let them criticize, let them be bitter, let them make noise, let them go around, let them keep talking. But one thing we want to tell them, Kenya is going to be peaceful. Election is going to take place. Baba is going to win. Is going to be sworn in. Nobody is going to sell fear to Kenyans. So hiyo issue ya kukufa hiyo ni yao au waseme tu.
Their bitterness is going to drive them to boycott, which will be a very good walk-off.
Bernard, they have not
Yes.
written to the UN. You know, as we wrote to
they have written to the UN.
As we wrote to the UN, we wrote to NATO, we wrote to. They have not
No
yet
Kofi
written.
Annan. Kofi
They
Annan
have
is
not
not
written.
there.
They need to write those things. You know, they should be a serious
Enough.
opposition. You know, they have already said that the election will not be free and fair next year. That's a good start. They should even go out and start saying that, you know, the judiciary should be disbanded. I mean, they have just started. What are they waiting for?
Let them make history. Ruben, are you
Bernard,
there?
one question. No, Bernard, one
Yes.
question to Themba, please.
Yes, inawezekana. Naendelea.
Yes, can you tell us something about this? Why is Chebukati not attending this organization committee? Can you tell us something about it? Why is he not? Why is he running away?
No, as we don't
Anaonekana
care
amekula
whether
pesa.
he attends or not. I mean, that is his problem. That is not even even the last time Baba said we don't care. We are not concerned about IBC and Chebukati. If he wants to attend, let him attend. If he wants to abscond, let him abscond. Hizo ni shida za UDA. Hao waende wafanye meeting na Chebukati. They should have been told, first of all, UDA should be told that we are no longer concerned about IEBC. They can tell Chebukati to step down. But let me tell you something. If the election was to be rigged via the IEBC, this is not the time. And even Chebukati is not the person. It is a whole system. So even if Chebukati sits in that committee, even if he doesn't sit, it doesn't change anything. You remember they killed Musaundo, and still Jubilee won. So it is a whole system. Even Chebukati can withdraw. But if it is to be rigged via the IEBC, it's not about Chebukati sitting in a election preparedness thing. That is the cheapest way of arguing. They have poor strategists. What does Chebukati do? He's just a policy guy. So even if you're going to rig using that, it's not about Chebukati. Chebukati can even step aside and not attend those meetings. But if it is going to be used, it's not Chebukati. So we don't care whether he sits, whether he doesn't sit. Is like I think Bernard said. He is even being pretentious. He first of all went and attended. They now came and said, now we are withdrawing. That's a psychological move. Who tells you that they have not told him that come sit and then withdraw so that these guys feel like they're winning? It's a political game. So we don't care about Chebukati.
Sawa. Let's move on. Ruben, are you still there? Okay. Penny, give your closing remarks.
Okay. One thing that is so clear is that it's now dawning on the DP that actually this presidency, he might just watch it in view sasa, you know. He thought it was an easy matter, but from yesterday, during the State of the Nation's address, when he was trying to run after the president to say hi to him, I think that was the turning point for him. You know, I'm sure when he went back home, it dawned on him you cannot play with the deep state. It's a very tricky affair. So I think where Raila is now, we are just waiting for things to accelerate, and we are waiting for him to declare his candidature, and thereafter we just hope for the best for this nation. And then there was also a directive that was issued banning all political aspirants from participating in Arambe. So I think this will affect the DP more because he's the one who is fond of giving monies in Harambes and stuff like that. So we will not be shocked to see his rallies, you know, with very less people because for him, he uses money to draw large crowds. So my final shot is that we should be very, very vigilant in the way we are going to vote. We should talk to our children. Let's talk to our people. Let's talk to the youth and the gullible in the community. Let's tell them that it's not enough to just be given a meal, a handout. You know, those millions that are normally given in campaigns in the tune of 1.5 million, if broken down to the smaller unit, you'd get one person only getting like 50 shillings. So we are not worth 50 shillings. We are more worthwhile than that. We can do better than that. So let's vote very consciously, and let's vote leaders who are going to change this nation, because we really need a change, and a real change at this time. We do not need political bandits, you know, who have raped the economy and are richer than they used to be. And our economy has been depleted. So let us vote very wisely and talk to our children, our cousins, our relatives, you know. Let's reach out to people. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Penny. James? James 1. Okay, already under arrest. Wekesa?
Wekesa is sleeping.
Okay. Wekesa is here. Wekesa, you have the last word. Themba will give the shout outs. We're out of here.
Okay, me, I'll say that timu makasiriko wapunguze makasiriko. Na if they prove what they can kasirika, it's our joy. Me usema every day I wake up is to find a few people I can annoy. So if they feel like they are more annoyable, then they will keep us on duty. Hatutaki kukosa content. So kama wanakasirika wakasirike tu. It's not the first time. But what we will tell them is that if you they should not be demonstrating these two characters, bravado in a rally, alafu kikuja kama wale akiona president, he almost wants to shrink in, he wanted to shrink and disappear, you see,
to beg the sky, to beg the ground to open a mouth and
yes,
swallow
and
him.
swallow him. Ukiona DP akikuwa kwa rally, the way anaongea, kujeni mshindane na mimi, kifua ndio hiyo. When he is before the president, ndio huyo. So decide if you want to be brave everywhere. Go to parliament, toa points, tuone wewe ni brave. Go to Nakuru, that is your area. They are launching a city. Go there and have a podium also. Say things, because don't allow one chorus, people just saying the same things. Just as the State of Nation was a national event, even converting Nakuru to city status, it's a national event. So why do you think that a rally in Machakos will be more important than and urgent than going and conferring status to Nakuru city? After all, if we go by your own argument, it is in your bedroom or it's in your stronghold. So you should be there and show solidarity with the people that in terms of development, we agree. We put our political differences and we stand together. I wanted to see Kina Susan and the deputy there in solidarity with the president, telling him this is what you have done is above politics and is something good, because it will be remembered with generations. I was also happy to hear the echoes, Baba calling everybody to go to Kasarani on 10. And then he said reggae is bouncing back. We may not know the route, but we are just waiting to see how the reggae will be bouncing back. And I was also happy to see one of the senior Oka principals, the sponsor of Oka, working alongside with Baba, the 6th president. So we are here. Unajua, people like Malala are loud mouth, but people like Gideon don't talk, but they move. They say that a tiger does not proclaim its strike recruit, it pounces. So hii kelele mingi inaisha, but at the end of the day, things are falling in place. If you realize, Uhuru's message was so calm, but yet stinging. Aliongea tu kipole. He did not shout like the guys who are shouting in the rally, yet nobody's hearing. He was just talking calmly and relaxed. Yet he ruffled the feathers. When you go right now on the social media, you see everybody discussing his speech and they are angry about it. So, in other words, power is in the words you say, not in the volume and the melody you use. Otherwise, have a good night, guys. Let's meet tomorrow for another conversation.
Okay, thank you, Ekesa Femba. Do the justice.
Now, there's one guy called George Gakure who is saying that the comment that took me is people from Lima does not listen like 207 to Uhuru, but maybe 40% or less. So my comment on that is the deputy president has constantly said that his support is coming from the youths. There was 6 million targets on registration. The line was met by just 1.5 M. So the 6 million did not vote. From some of the people that I've been talking to, the youths are disillusioned. The youth that is relying on, especially from central Kenya. And they are simply going to Ruto's rally because of the mobilization fee that is being given. And most of them are not even going to vote. The youths that have gone to school and have phones can tell the difference between a lie and a truth. You know, the youths that have gone to school can tell that this person has been earning has been getting money without working for it. You know, the youths that have gone to school can tell that he has lied to them that during the day he's not campaigning, during the night he's campaigning. So that is something that is not lost on the youth's mind. So they will think, they will brag that we have. One of my friends from Central was saying that the youths here are saying they will not vote, but they don't mind the money when it comes. The mobilization fee. So when that mobilization fee is being given, they don't mind getting from it. So I just wanted to point that out, that when you hear people saying that, oh, ground Ruto, that is the reality, you know. Finally, you told me to give a shout out, right? Yeah, I want to give a shout out to George Gakure. Thank you for coming on. Arwanda Jr. Not Nice Show. Pen Nyagaka, a very die-hard hustler, nation supporter. I wish Pen Nyagaka would come on and give his views on the debate instead of just hurling insults on the comment section. You see, you don't make Ruto's campaign any better by just repeating the same thing. Ruto atashinda, Ruto atashinda. I mean, that doesn't, and insulting the other people. All these people on the panel here, 6 of them, are votes. So it is not us who are vying. There are other people who are vying. So you can actually come and win a vote for your person when you're not insulting this person. You know, one thing, Bernard, that I've always noticed with the matatus in Kenya, you know, when they see you, wanasema beba pesa usiache. You know, they don't see you. They see the money you are carrying. So I wish if we had similar perspective. When you're looking at someone, you see a vote. You're not seeing the person. But you see, when Pen Nyagaga comes on the comment and says that all these are Luos, all these are, you know, whichever, you know, you don't really help. You're not adding value to your candidate. For us, when we see Pen Nyagaga, we see a vote. So hopefully we can engage. One day you'll find time and even get into the forum and argue your case. You never know. Any of us here can be, you know, can be convinced to come to your side. So see a vote. Don't see Bernard. Don't see Penny. Don't see community ancestor. See a vote, and that vote can make a difference. You see, now that's the wisdom that sometimes lack in those people who just come to the comment section just to hurl insults. Let's not see Luos, Kikuyus, or whatever. Let's see a possible vote that will be helpful to your candidate. Pen Nyagaga, hopefully one day you'll find it good enough to join the show and argue the case for your candidate. Come convince us. Yeah, okay, fine. You're voting for Ruto. It's good. Baba supports multi-party democracy. So come on and give us why you think we should follow him. There's Oliver Mwashi, Dorothy Bryant, David Olong, Nelson Mandela, and many others, and Oscar Master K. I think I've given enough shout-outs, Bernard. And to Penny, Community Ancestor Wekesa, and Bahati, nice meeting you guys. People hope to meet you again here in this channel.
Okay, thank you, Themba. Thank you. There is Oliver. What was the other name?
Oliver Mwashi.
Oliver Mwashi and our subscription. You did not subscribe, so make sure you look for Oliver Mwashi and subscribe on his YouTube channel. Amedai na hiyo inamaanisha wote. That's all, like he has already 5 subscriptions, especially those of you that are in the studio. So it's your homework after this show. Make sure you subscribe to Oliver Mwashi, his YouTube channel, and there is one for Themba. Yangu sijaanza kuipigia debe, lakini naendelea kupokea subscription.
Yeah, kindly. Now that you said that, Bernard, kindly mukitoka hapa mkuje kwa channel yangu Themba on Diege on YouTube. Subscribe. Subscribe
again.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, let us thank God for today's show and close. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we bless your name. We thank you that you have enabled us to share our views on this platform with different kind of people who have heart for this nation. And we pray that you will continually be the Lord and the King of this nation. Help us to navigate through each and every corner and deliver us to the predetermined end. We ask you that by your might and by your power, you will keep this nation as one in every way. Be an enemy to the enemies of this nation, be an adversary to the adversaries of this nation, and rescue this nation completely. Thank you for every family, every community, each and every minute segment of this nation. Let it be under your care and your protection. We give you thanks. We bless you today. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Well, thank you, guys. Let us